significant effort. But we've rebuilt and cleaned out the gutted traps. I think today we're just going to try and, like, because I'm building a temple. We're going to finish the temple, and then I think we're going to actually get the lesser Krampuses, like, sorted, because I've just been kind of ignoring them. So we should do that. Who's my lesser Krampus right now? You, Solbu. You can be my lesser Krampus. So for anybody who's maybe new to this playthrough, we are using a holiday-themed mod. If anybody wants a link to it, let me know. So we are playing as goblins, and we have Krampus in charge instead of a mayor, which is, you know, a bunch of fun. Speaking of, where did you go? Didn't see you. Unless he already has a bedroom. What do you still need? Oh, you don't have an office officially. Did I not just give you an office? There you are. Excellent. So we have a lesser Krampus in charge. As for the fort itself, we kind of went for this shooting star design on this layer. There's a little bit of blood up there from a siege. It's fine. Then we have a wind farm up top, because that's about as high up as it goes. But if we go down, this is our area that's defended by minecart grinders. Down here is a corpse pile, which we need to clear out again. And then if we fly down through here, you can see power that's coming up from the underground pump system that we have set up all the way down here. On this layer as well, we've been seeing gremlins occasionally. So I have a gremlin trap that will hopefully catch us a gremlin at some point. And I think that there's a forgotten beast on this layer. I need to keep an eye out, though. But if there is, it hasn't come up yet, so I'm not too worried. All that being said, though, welcome back to our holiday fort. But in regards to SS13, if you want to see SS13 streams, I recommend following Russ Money. He's probably your best when it comes to SS13 content on Twitch. Probably the best that you can get. So another thing that I want to do is I want to get some actual joy makers. I want to get some crime stuff up and running. We need 6 chains, and we actually do have some criminals that are popping up now because we've got some violations of production orders. So we need to get a prison set up. What are the R's? The R's are one of 2 things. If they're brown R's, then they are reindeer that fly. 1 in, I think it's 60, have a red nose. And then these ones are raven deer, which I've been using as livestock, but also as part of the military. They are carnivorous meat-eating deer. They do not graze, so they can be pastured anywhere, and they are military trainable. So they are a large military trainable animal with red eyes and red horns. They are part of the mod. They're some of the custom animals. There's a bunch of added animals, including penguins and stuff, which are kind of fun. Yeah. So first, I'm just gonna let these gubbins get rid of all this crap. The polar elves, who are elves who don't care about nature and use what's the word? And use metal weapons, are here to trade with us, but we're ignoring them because I'm probably going to invade them today. Also, one of my squads is currently out raiding somebody, and they haven't come back yet. So I'm worried. Maybe they'll come back. Maybe they won't. Hoping they do. Very much hoping they do. But yeah, so that's what's today. So chat, I have a question. Have you guys been enjoying this fort, or is anybody here missing Long Death? Because this fort's been like, it's been fun. It's been a little weird. I find it a lot harder to keep track of goblins, and I find the goblins' personalities to be less interesting than dwarves. I'm not totally sure why, but I'm having a much harder time getting attached to these goblins than I am the dwarves. And maybe that's the way I'm playing this one. It might just be the way I'm playing it, but I really enjoy like kind of the silliness and like little personal conflicts that you get between dwarves, and I'm really not feeling that with the goblins. Maybe it's because the goblins are so often like the enemy, I guess. But they can't. You can't handle the number of Gs. No, I can handle the number of Gs. The fact that they're Gs isn't really a problem, but like they don't make artifacts. They're very easy to manage. The fact that they don't need alcohol. I don't know. I find them a little bit less interesting than dwarves. I don't know if you guys have any like inputs on that, but hopeful plan for today is, assuming today is more lively than yesterday, we're going to stream a couple of hours of this, and then we're going to play some War Sim. And one thing that I would like to mention about War Sim, assuming chat stays active enough to play some War Sim, one thing I would like to mention about War Sim is all copies of War Sim sold between the 20th and the 25th of December, 100% of the profits go towards charity. So if you want to help the developer of War Sim donate some money to charity, that's interesting. So I can explain why this happened, but first I will read, a goblin snowbub has come, a medium humanoid creature driven to cruelty by its evil nature. Do you guys want to know what just happened? Because I can explain to you what just happened. So the goblin snowdub Stolstangu has come, a medium-sized humanoid creature driven to cruelty by its evil nature. It's a were creature, but it's a slow were creature who's late, and showed up after the moon stopped being full, who is now going to immediately turn around and run away because they're like, oh god, I'm not a were creature anymore. Anyway, let's just tell my military to go kill it. Assuming it doesn't make it off the map in time. But the map stopped, or the moon stopped being full afterwards. You think you bought it just in time for that? Cool. Yeah! I mean, also, it's like, if you need a stocking stuffer for somebody, maybe gift them a copy. Also, my main squad came back. Well, that's good. They made it home. Hallelujah. The Enchanter of Control attacked the Plague of Flickers and the Thief of Rhyming and Ghoul Copper. The Frost Goblin Zolgast Notched led the attack, and the defenders were led by the Goblin Bucks. The Frost Goblin Zolgast, outmatched with a tactical planning, was superior to our Goblin, and the defenders had a slight positional advantage. And it doesn't seem to have gone great for us, at least initially. Okay, well, I mean, it got better. The Goblin Tychus' head was smashed by the Frost Goblin Muck. Well, that's good, good. Purple is bad. Purple means we lose somebody. Yellow is neutral, and white is good. Well, looks like the Modest Claws clashed with 2 goblins and Ghoul Copper, slaying 1. Okay, well, I mean, we made it back. We didn't win, but we didn't lose too hard. We lost a goblin, which isn't so bad. CV is a CV or just called a cover letter. They're the same thing. I think that's pretty, like, English-speaking country-centric. Regardless, though, they appear to have made it back, which is good. Excellent. I was worried about them not coming back, because it kind of seemed like they weren't going to. Also, felling a bunch of trees. What are we working on currently? We're smelting some gold ore, making some charcoal, forging a gold altar, constructing rock slabs. Also, I should make sure I don't have any slabs that need to be placed. I do have 1, which we'll place. Get back to this. But yeah, also, Stoned Hobo, my moderator, picked up a couple copies of War Sim, so I have a handful of keys to give away. I'm thinking about giving one of them away through YouTube. But the rest of them I'm going to give away here. So I'll have some keys to give away when we play. So something that I've been thinking about, like, New Year's stuff recently. And something that I know some people do is they keep big suggestion lists. So something that I think I'm going to start polling my patrons for specifically, and then over time start polling you guys for it just openly as well, is I want to build a Google Doc of like a spreadsheet of games that I haven't played that are on my list. Because every now and again, people will be like, "Blind, have you played this game?" And I'll be like, "No, but it's on my list of ever-growing games that I need to play and should play at some point, but haven't." And I think that I need to actually like make a physical list because I do have like, and I think on my days off, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time, and because I do have some days off that I'm gonna take after the holidays are over, and during that period of time, I think I'm going to figure out some games that I'd like to get to or play. You know, even just games like Disco Elysium or like I need to go back to ADOM. Like games that are not currently in the rotation that I need to play more of. And just kind of see if I can surface that somewhere, make it like semi-public somewhere so that you guys can see it. And then I can link the current rotation of games that I'm playing right now and maybe move games in and out. More Minesweeper? Yeah, like Minesweeper. Or like, you know, we could add chess to that list theoretically because there's like that very persistent small group of people that still ask me to play chess for some silly reason. Best of luck, Dragon. Is there a way for you to get an at-home test, or are you like feeling that down? Because if you're feeling that gone, like fucking yeah, go see a doctor. I've been thinking about buying my dad a year's subscription to chess.com and just start playing chess against my dad. Because the only person that I actually genuinely enjoy playing chess with is my dad. Because he's like slightly better at chess than me, but not by much. I mean, I know people in California who just go to a drugstore and buy one or get them depending on what drugstore they go to. So I don't know what availability is like, but I mean, if you can avoid going to urgent care and can just get a test somewhere else, maybe look into that briefly, if that's an option. I don't know what your options there are. Like here, if I need a COVID test, I just go to my local pharmacy and they'll just give me one. But like, I know that they have some at-home tests, at least where you're at. Hey, putting depressed goblins seems to be the right decision. This goblin does like being in the military, even though you're very stressed. All right, so I'm going to make gold chain 20. 20 gold chains we're going to make. That's going to be my prison. It's going to go into the tavern. This is going to be where they go. We're going to find some other goblins that would work. Hey, Peter, how are you? Incredibly brave in the face of looming danger. Well, you can be my new squad leader. About this paper maker. You want to practice some martial art? He is truly fulfilled by assisting those in need, though she wishes that this were not the case, because she considers altruism foolish. I have no interest in the Masterwork mod, I'll be honest. Even more so now. I like overhaul mods. I don't like mods that change the base game. So it's like, I like mods that make it into a new game, whereas Masterwork mod just takes a bunch of small mods and kind of crams them together in, I don't want to say a nonsensical fashion, but not in a fashion that I think is interesting. Like just sword joints? Peter? Because like that's me and my knees. The reason I say just sword joints is because the way you use that emote at the end. Okay, we're going to send you to training session. Bashful and feel strong urges and seek short-term rewards. Lives a fast-paced life. Form negative views about things. Finds obligations confining. you into that new squad. Also, what materials do I have currently? Actually, how many anvils do I have currently? Let's melt all those anvils down. Melt 30 anvils. Get that going. Oh, I get you. I had a disalignment in my lower back, which got so bad by about 2016. I actually had to go to physio for a while to like get my back realigned. That was very painful. I can relate. I can relate. I hope it sorts itself out quickly, because that is no fun. I think that these guys are stuck. Deconstruct and reconstruct that. I like how people who watch Haas streams a lot just have started talking like Haas. It's like, I don't believe I've ever heard people say, ooh, mama, as often as I do now. Also, to those of you who want to get into streaming and want other streamers to notice you, take notes from Haas. He knows what the fuck he's doing, whether he realizes it or not. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like a therapist can like correct you, but only you can fix it. You know what I mean? Only you can actually fix it. I need more engravers. Let's just give these animal takers some engraving. Man, the bot's in a thieving mood today. Well, I mean, if you streamed a lot and used your speech quirks frequently, I could see that happening, Stone. Maybe one day, Stone, we'll stream on the Twitch. We'll play Dwarfs. Maybe one day. Maybe not. Maybe one day. You never know. I do like the addition of holiday trees, though. Also, would you look at that? There's one of the Forgotten Beasts. Speaking of, where'd the other one go? There is another Forgotten Beast just in the basement. It just kind of vanished. Cool. Seems like dwarves are, or not dwarves, goblins are starting to do the wall detailing that I need them to do. Because this is going to be my new tavern. Which actually, or not tavern, temple. Which actually, I'm going to queue up right now. Make it into that. Temple? Well, actually. Temple. What's the name of my temple currently? Is this tiny corner? Life of Confusion. Yeah, that's accurate. No, actually, that's not a bad idea. Gold toy. Let's make 30 gold toys. Didn't even think about that. Tavern / temple? No, just a temple. Just a temple. Yeah, no, I didn't even think about that. Make the tavern all visitors only too. Why not? Let's see what we get. Just kind of curious at this point. All right, let's see if we can get some more goblins in the military. Yeah, you'd be fine. Another kind of boring thing about goblins is they seem to be super okay with terrible things happening, and they don't seem to care. Which I think is kind of a bit of an annoyance, personally. Speaking of making toys, how are you, Vin? There we go. Muck has become a Mace Lord. Could send them back out, but I think we're just going to wait for a siege. I end up expecting to get sieged sooner rather than later. Got a lot of time to wait. I also need more metalsmiths. You're a farmer with no job. Do you like metal? You like wood, golden barrel, steel, and gabbro. Okay. There you go. You're gonna go forge us some golden chains. That's what we need. Also, this is the defensive layer for the fort. If I pull this lever, it'll turn on all of our defenses, which are ricocheting go-karts, mine carts that run in circles on these little tracks, which has definitely been fun because I haven't messed around with minecart grinders. Goat carts. I almost said go-karts. I mean, I guess if I put goats into carts, wouldn't that make them into goat carts? That checks out, right? Right? I think so. Zooms, yeah. That would be far too powerful a defense. Yeah, because the goats would just eat everything. But yeah, that's my defense. One of those tracks ended up having two carts on it, which is fine. And this one's also terrifying. I'm just super curious to see which of these is more effective, because this one is powered from the layer above, 2 layers above actually. Whereas this one is powered from the same layer. I'm just kind of curious to see which one would be more effective and which one they're more or less likely to destroy. This one was pretty effective the last time we got sieged, and this one is new. So I'm hoping we get attacked soon so that we can test these out and see how they work. Very excited to see that. Especially because, like, I'm forcing them to walk along this. Ideally, they'd be hit by this cart quite a bit, right? Because it'll go up and down and around. It gets 2 boosts and then goes up, down, and around. Up, down, and around. Hey, Yoshi. You know that you need to set up an animal training area. Beyond that, you don't have much idea. Hit Z, go to the animals menu, and then select how you want to train them. If you're not doing that in here, then you can't train anything. So if I want some war-trained raven deers, I have to do that. Plus, you need the animal training area. So they bring them to the animal training area, and then you select them to get a particular training in this screen, which I'm actually just going to select them to be slaughtered. And if you're doing that, then yeah, that would be what you're missing. So hit Z, and then you can scroll through these top menus with the either the numpad or the arrow keys, and then press enter on animals, and then select the animal in particular that you want to train. If you press A, or if you press enter on it, you can make them available as pets here, and then people can take control over the animal, and then they own them for life. The animal might go insane if the owner dies, though. You can war train from here. You can animal hunting. You can animal train. You can geld from here. You can also select an individual trainer with T. Yeah, certain types of animals can't be war trained. Like my polar bears can be war trained, for example. My raven deer can be war trained, for example. My flying reindeer can be war trained. However, my lamb cannot be war trained. Also, hunting training is super helpful because they will literally just like. Actually, I'm gonna train a bunch of these flying reindeer on hunting training, because having a flying animal that can hunt seems really helpful. It's really helpful to have hunting animals trained because they will just go and hunt wildlife for you, and you need to do absolutely nothing to just always have hunting animals. Also, I'm going to need to claim all of these for a second here. The goblins go and reset them. What is gelding? It is when you cut the nuts off of a male animal so it can't make babies. It's not a term that's used a lot anymore. It's one of those, don't Google this terms. Which isn't showing you the stream in the live list? That's bizarre. Maybe that's why we had no viewers yesterday. Wave depletion. You also just woke up. Morning! Why were you up late last night? A vile force of Zidurkness has arrived. All right. Well, it seems to be gubbins. Some beak dogs and more gubbins. Well, that's good. Good. Meaning I can run up here and pull this lever. And pull this lever. And just give it a minute. I'm just going to assume that most of my goblins are inside. And Odux, the Lasher, has bestowed the name Utsma upon a silver whip. And I'm just curious about what that whip's name means, because I know very little about gubbin names. Utsma, As. Weaver of Mystery. Whoa. It has 2 notable kills. Killed a goblin and a forgotten beast. 9 other kills, mostly goblins. And has been used by 3 of my goblins. It was used by Master at Lasher Era. It was used by Udux and Sost. Just didn't want to get up, you guess? Okay, I know what you mean. Time to test the minecarts? Yeah, we get to test the new minecarts. It's exciting. It is exciting. Truly that. All right. Let's just make sure that we pull the right levers, though. Let's wait until the levers get pulled. And I also need to... I think a goblin's about to get atom smashed. Nope. And let's get these goblins inside. Turn off these. All right, you are set up, you are set up, you are set up. These ones are not. All right, so I'm just going to... Actually, let's just go to burrow 2. And add these to this. And these to this. And turn on burrow 2. Some of my goblins are stuck outside, but that's fine. Odux equals mansion? Huh. We just are resetting these minecarts. So this is one of my goblins. Okay, so some of my goblins are still running inside. It's one of mine. That's also one of mine. That's also one of mine. Oh my word. And here come the raiders. Damn, they're pretty close already. While my goblins are still running inside. Get inside, boys! Get inside, you blue boys! Because they're not green, they're blue, because they're frost goblins. Alright, so let's forbid these. Forbid you. 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 Of course, forbid you. And then we're going to go here and forbid you. I got one more to replace. Of legend is a place for a legend to be Zolok. Oh yeah, no, I've had a few dwarves named, or not dwarves, goblins named Blizzard. I've definitely had a couple of those. Okay, so these appear to be the last of mine. Seems like some of my goblins got caught outside though, unfortunately. Yeah, we lost 2. So you're just gonna place this one. Then after you finish placing this one, I can turn off burrow 2. All right, here come the beak dogs. So now we get to see how efficient this is. Well, like the symbol of a mansion is the meaning of the word? That's interesting. Literally just waiting for you. All right. Then we forbid that. And then we turn off burrow 2. And now we wait for this goblin to be past the safety line. And we pull a lever. And also turn off my 3 squads, which we will activate if we need it. All right, chat. I'm curious, how effective do you guys think this is going to be? Because I have largely no idea. This is like me experimenting. Ooh, look at this. There's dwarves as part of this goblin faction. Do you have any armor on? Okay, so these are the Ticks of Suffering. The Ticks of Suffering are... Ah, yes. The Ticks of Suffering are that goblin group that I just invaded for the first time. They're at peace with the Polar Elves. I think? No, never mind. They're at peace with the Dabbling Kingdom, the humans, who I think invaded me. Yeah, so the humans invaded me, and these guys are friends with the humans. And they seem to be run by dwarves, even though they are a goblin faction. Their High Executioner is a dwarf. Their Master of Beasts is a dwarf. Their Royal Chamberlain is a dwarf. Their Chief Counselor is a dwarf. They have a human woodcutter as a keeper of the seal. And they have a master goblin thief as part of them. Interesting. Think it's going to be just fine? I'm curious to see how it goes. Ticks of Suffering. Got a keeper that seal. Yeah, no. Seal Keeper. It's my favorite unreleased sequel to Dungeon Keeper. All right, so we're turning on the carts. Looks like it's going to be turned on before Ugar gets through, so hopefully you got some decent dodging in there. Yep, 2 of them made it. Okay, well, now we get to see how this goes. Hopefully it's efficient. Because if it's not, we just gotta send in my goblins. Not too big of a raid. I mean, still pretty big. It's not as big as the last one, which was like 220. It's a goblin blender. Yeah! So chat, will it blend? My eye is itchy. Does it chug? Oh god, I hope not. What's that mean? Or is that you on the wrong keyboard, Vin? You on the wrong keyboard? Got it. I was like, that's not a word, I don't think. All right. Now we see whether or not this is efficient. Well, dodge, dodge. Whoop! Now that's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Look at that. They dodged the first time, but man, that second one hit good. That second one hit good. Big dog skids along the ground, a bruising muscle, bruising the right lung. Having trouble breathing. The minecart strikes the beak dog in the upper body, bruising the muscle and bruising the heart. Splat! Got hit by a truck. And then this one got knocked back pretty good too. Whoop, there goes another one. Look at how far. Holy shit, look at that. Did you see how far it flew? Holy crap. His throat is mangled beyond recognition. Her throat is gouted. Her throat is gouted. What does that mean? Is gouting? Like spraying? All right, so far so good. It's working! All right, here comes another round. Uh-oh. Oh no, the troll got to that one. Okay, so that's the first cart track done. So the troll was able to topple one of the rollers up here, but this one's still going, even though it was able to topple one of the rollers. Trollers are this whole setup's like worst enemy. Come on! Oh, damn it. Damn it! Okay, some of the trolls up there got hit. Oh, yeah, got him! Got him! He didn't make it through the end. Now he's getting just run over on repeat. Thonk. Okay. How are you doing up here? Oh, yeah, you're done. You're done. Because, like, the trolls have this ability to, like, topple things, right? So we have lost two of the rollers. We lost the one that was here and the one that was here. But this one is still running, so this cart's still going. And this one is still running, so this cart's still going. It's just not going as fast as it was previously. The trolls are like the actual enemy. Okay, the one on the bottom left is now done. But we've still got a few moving. It just kind of sucks that, like, a lot of the fastest moving ones have, like, stopped now. Also, they took out the power on the top two, so the top two are just done now. But then they still have this to get through. And that one just managed to make it through entirely. So I'm going to send the less hands to just go get them. All right, back over here. Some stuff's still moving. Still got that, like, one spinning blade down on the bottom, but I think trap number one is more or less done. Although it did just hit somebody, so... Ooh, okay, some people just got noggined. All right, so kill count initially is not so bad. All right, so down on the second one now, because the first one's kind of just done. That... Ooh. 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 I mean... Ooh. Her horn is gone. You're not going to be horny anymore. Ooh. Ow. Like, once they start ricocheting, like, they're just kind of done widely, you know? Once they start ricocheting, they're just kind of done. Right, so another one made it through. Send the less hands to go get them. It's like, it's definitely not the most efficient thing, but it is bloody entertaining. All right, looks like, as we pause, looks like everything on this side is now done. But, like, if you're fighting against even humans or anything that doesn't have... Oh, man, there's a troll. Okay. We're going to have to bring the squads up here. Specifically, kill this one, because this one's going to get up and in, and they're going to start toppling everything. there goes the fun of that. Because this one's running up here and just toppling everything now, I think. That troll entered the maintenance room? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It certainly feels like you have to force them on the track. Certainly. But now the actual carnage begins. But my goblins are pretty well trained, so I've got pretty good faith in them. Is that Chups? Hey, Chups is still alive. Chups is one of my master lashers, who unfortunately has some pretty permanent injuries, but still a very effective lasher. Yeah, the actual kill count of that thing was, like, not too high. I think we'll build one more. I got one more kind of setup I would like to test. I want to try firing it in a straight line very far up with kind of a protected far end. So hopefully they don't run past it. But it seems like sometimes trolls are just too good at dodging them is also kind of the problem. It seems like trolls are just too efficient at dodging them. But, oh, we've named another whip. Usu has named a whip. What did you name the whip? It's got 2 kills. Ivory Knighted. Stuz Cod. Ivory Knighted. But yeah, as a sole defense, it doesn't seem to be that efficient. As the entirety of a defense, could certainly be better, I think. Although I can't tell who's winning this fight, I'll be completely honest. Us, I'm going to say. I don't think I've lost anybody yet, so we're winning. What are they down to? 84? Yeah, we got this. Oh, we lost a spear gob. Here comes some of my militia commanders who are running in to pick up equipment. Not particularly efficient. We're cleaving through them relatively cleanly right now. I think that we're going to win this siege. Yeah, looks like they're turning around. Ooh, what's this? We have some fitted slayers. Some undead. This is the first undead we've seen in this fort. Oh no, we lost somebody else. God damn. Freaked out about what this guy's gonna be capable of. Alright, well at least the beak dogs are pretty easy to break. Oh, maybe it's just a visitor. Yeah, this guy's not even part of the military. Yeah, this is just an artist who's here to hang out. Never mind. The zombie's just here to hang out. I was like, oh no, it's a zombie as part of the military. Oh no, it's just an artist. Meanwhile, the enemy seems to just be leaving. I'm going to... just see if I can let them leave for a minute. Oh no! Hold up. The outpost liaison is dead. But they do still seem to just be leaving. So we'll watch them and see if they leave. Artist, I like what you've done with the place. The color goes well with the splatters on the walls. And then we're just like, splatters? And then here come my goblins to, like, rescue people. All right. Losses weren't that bad. It's good to see the B-Lug attack. Go take out this guy if we can. Okay, here comes one of my lashers. Who's just going to go kill this guy pretty handedly. How many kills do you have now, Lasher? 50! Alright. Bellfrost, that's our fort. That's us. Ooh. What even was that? It was some carnage, that. Upper front tooth? That's a lot of blood for a tooth, my dude. How you doing today, B-Lug? How's things? No, but I do judge a cover by its book. All right, where did... Oh, okay, they are just leaving the map then. Sweet. Yeah, we are absolutely safe to go. And it's time to do the thing that I did previously, which is go down to the corpse's screen and... well, dump them all. Eventually. We have a lot of things to clear first. Did you get here just as something happened? Well, yeah. Well, we've been playing with minecarts. We're seeing how efficient we can make some minecart monstrosities of murder and death. And so far, they seem to be pretty efficient. Pretty efficient. It was fun, though. Just goofing off. Having a good time. But largely, I would say that we did all right. Wait, what? Oh, okay. I see what they're running from. That's fine. We are placing things in tombs right now because we did lose a few. We're down to 67 goblins, though. We were at 73 before the siege, so that's not too bad. But, Pi, how are we doing today? Also, hello, Scoops. What are you running from? Oh, there's a baddie spearman right there. Let's go get him. Go get him. They're trying to leave, but can't because there's just a spearman there that keeps scaring them away. I think that might be one of the last few things that's left. The rest of them are just slowly leaving the map. All right, there they go. And he's dead. Perfect. Excellent. Finally able to finish fixing the hole in your own Java apps and you're using now so you can start to prepare for some holiday relaxation. Hell yeah, man. So what's the plan for the holidays then? My first real holiday thingy for me this year is I'm gonna go see The Matrix tonight. I also checked my tickets this morning because, so this is kind of neat. I checked my tickets this morning because we're under mild lockdown restrictions again in BC, which is good. We should be, frankly. But I checked my tickets to see if like they were still valid, or if I was gonna need to get a refund. And the showing that I got, which was I bought tickets to see The Matrix at 9:30 at night, didn't even sell it halfway, and they've closed sales for tickets. So I can still go see it, but no one else is able to buy tickets. Hopefully I get a movie theater myself. Uh-oh. The Forgotten Beast, Galka, has come. A great hairy Dimetron. Dimetrodon, I think is how you're supposed to say that. It has 4 long, curving horns, and it has a bloated body. Its beige hair is uncapped, and beware its fire! Uh-oh. It's a second flamey one. Do you know that moment when your brain feels like a computer doing its upgrade in the background, and so it's huffing and puffing, and it slows, and it blows your house down? Yes. And it slows down to a crawl, and the motor is like, what happened? You're like, damn, it work. What's wrong with you? And now you're just like, you feel that a bit. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I feel that, Pi. Been there. Your internship company is willing to incorporate, so you can write your thesis there. Oh, neat. Oh, you have a drive pie emote now. Oh, that's great. So that's the second Forgotten Beast to appear on this level and then immediately disappear. There's 2 potential fire beasts on this level now. So we'll see where it heads. We'll watch it for a minute. But you think fire is worse? I think webs are worst. Webs are the most dangerous thing. The only Forgotten Beast I've lost a fort to had webs. It was a steel horse that had webs. Yes, we should set Facebook on fire, but what does that have to do with anything? No. Yeah, it was a steel horse that shot webs. Yeah, and it killed my entire fort in about a minute. Admittedly, I wasn't really prepared for it either, but... Suffocation? Well, if a character gets webbed, the other character gets a free hit, right? So if you are, if you have a character in Dwarf Fortress and they get webbed, then the other character gets a free hit. Oh shit! There's a evil troll in my fort. Let's go kill that. There you go. It's been put down now. Probably look where these last 3 invaders are, because they might just be in my fortress. Oh, there's one up here. Go kill you. There's one outside who's leaving. And there's one outside who's leaving. And then there's our Forgotten Beast that we're going to go back to following now. Web me, baby, one more time. I would say death, probably. But yeah, if you get webbed in DF, that's a free hit that the enemy gets. And in DF, if the enemy gets a free hit, that's like you're just dead. All right, here we go. Well, I'm glad it didn't take that route. All right. It's in the fort now. Most of my goblins do have shields, which means it's going to come up this route. This could kill my fort, though, which is fine. All right, so that's a very warm goblin now. Oh, it's dead. Seemingly it was distracted. So Galka, hold on a second. The Forgotten Beast the militia captain bites the Forgotten Beast in the upper body, tearing a scale and bruising the fat, latches on firmly. The Forgotten Beast breaks the grip of the militia captain's upper front teeth, the Forgotten Beast's upper body. The militia captain lashes the Forgotten Beast in the rear leg with his bismuth bronze whip, chipping the bone, and then the militia captain kicks the Forgotten Beast in the right front leg with his right foot, bruising the muscle. The militia captain then lashes the Forgotten Beast in the lower body with his bismuth bronze whip, bruising the muscle and bruising the guts. the Forgotten Beast then the militia captain lashes the Forgotten Beast in the head with his bismuth bronze whip, bruising the muscle, jamming the skull through the brain, and tearing the brain. Just remember, guys, these are goblins, not dwarves. Well, the militia captain then lashes the Forgotten... That's me saving a clip. That was a fire beast that was bit to death. Yeah, he just bit it to death, pretty much. Well, he didn't one-tap it, but he two-tapped it, I think. Who was that? Bulkar. Yep. Fighty. Good job. Good job, that. Good job, I say. All right. Back to what we were doing previously. That one poor goblin did get toasted, though. So it wasn't totally a clean fight, but... Yeah, one of my goblin workers got crispied, but that's fine. Goblin crispies are delicious on toast. I'm gonna pull the two levers and reorganize everything, and everybody who needs to be is getting put into coffins, and seems like my doctor is doing doctoring job, which is good. Looks like the corpse room is filling up pretty quick. And it seems like we're going to need to reconnect a lot of stuff, but that's fine. The thing about fire ones is if they can get fire down and there's smoke between your military and the baddie, then they're really dangerous. If you can get behind them, they're not so bad. And it's pretty similar with webbed ones. The difference between the webbed ones and the fire ones is webs shoot out webs, and then the webs stay there. And they can kind of surround themselves with webs. And then if a military goblin or dwarf gets stuck in the web, they're just dead, right? But fireball goes boom and flies past, and if there isn't anything that's burnable on the floors, it doesn't catch the floors on fire, so it dissipates really quick. So even though it's kind of the same if they get stuck in the smoke, they're basically dead. If they dodge the fireball, the smoke dissipates pretty quick, then they're okay again, and then they can just fight. And once they get it on the ground, assuming you have a good military, it's not too bad to just fight back against them. I think this is one for the history books. What, that goblin that survived that? All right. Let's turn the military back on and get them training again. While the rest begin to work on this. They're generally just fireballs, unless they are made of fire. Creatures that are made of fire, I've seen them kind of do the, I don't know, like Dragon Ball-like explosion where there's like a shockwave of fire coming out of them, but usually it's just they shoot out balls of fire. Dragons kind of shoot out a wall of fire. Forgotten beasts tend to shoot a single tile worth of fire that flies in a straight line and hits a thing and then explodes and then burns there for a little bit and either burns out or catches wood stuff around it on fire. And then dragons just shoot out like a flat wall of fire. Both balls and jets can exist. Yeah, but I've never seen a Forgotten Beast with fire jets. I've only seen dragons with like walls of fire. Also, we got more meat shields. Excellent. You would be excellent in the military. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because Matrix is on everybody's mind recently, right? Chat, I apologize if I'm too much of a fanboy of The Matrix. I like The Matrix a whole lot. If it makes any sense, the first time I watched The Matrix, me and my dad watched all three of them in one sitting, and then the next day watched The Animatrix. So that was like my first experience with The Matrix, was literally just sitting down and watching every single one of them back to back. So my enthusiasm for the sequels. How about you? Yep. Once again, you'll do just fine. And they brought another polar bear. Yep. It'll be good. The other reason why dragons cause so much damage is dragon fire is significantly higher in temperature than most fire. Most fire is fire temperature. Dragon fire is hotter than the sun, which is why dragons can burn down drawbridges of any material. And it said you are hit by molten copper. Were you wearing armor? Or did you have any silver or copper on you? Because it may have melted you. Won't be shown in English in a theater near you. I'm going to go see it tonight, B-Lug. And I've watched every single Matrix movie in the last 2 days. I watched 2 last night and one of them the night before. Yeah, you'll be fine. Hearing nothing about it and thinking it was probably trash, ended up staying to the end of the whole credits, just blown away. You know, having watched them all recently, like I was saying earlier, the first one is an incredible science fiction movie that's cheesy and fun. The second one is a great martial arts movie, and the third one is just like an action sequence that lasts for 2 hours. Like, I don't know. I love all of those movies. Yeah, you'll be fine. Goblins are so easy to manage. Like, I can largely just ignore them. They just kind of do everything. Saw the original Matrix shortly after it came out when the scene with the belly button bug was too much. By today's standards, that scene's pretty schlocky, but yeah, I could see why when it was new, that would be a bit much. And also, as a 9-year-old, yes, I could certainly understand that. I think I saw those movies when I was like 12. 2 years after they came out. Vin, thanks for chucking a sub at Paranoid Metroid. Cheers. Think theaters are closed till 8 due to COVID? Movie theaters are at half capacity, and they've stopped selling tickets, but they're letting people, what's the word? They're letting people still go see movies that they bought tickets for. So I bought my tickets 2 days ago to go see it on the 22nd. I just kind of said fuck it and just bought a ticket. I think it was just stealing adamantine. You were doing a thing where you suit up and stuff, and it snuck in and the dragon bashed it. Keep that thought in your head, and we should ask Tarn. Next time Tarn hangs out, which will probably be sometime in February or March, maybe April, depending on how much news comes out. If there's more exciting new news. Oh my god, we're actually butchering some of these beak dogs. That's cool. Didn't think they'd do that, but apparently they do. Wait, do goblins? Goblins don't eat sentience, right? Now I'm wondering if goblins will eat pets. You know, I've never seen Wild Wild West. Fact, actually. Because, like, you'd think I'd love that movie, right? 3,000 hours on the dot. That's cool, Stone. That's a lot of hours. Yeah, no, I mean, there is nothing in the Matrix that is, like, too bad as an adult. I mean, as a kid, it's like, there's definitely some sequences in the Matrix that are, like, definitely terrifying. But as an adult, like, the Matrix is just a cheese fest of fun stuff. Like, those movies are a lot of fun. And I like I was saying earlier, I think that my enjoyment of Matrix 2 and Matrix 3 comes from the fact that I'm not too ashamed to admit that I like movies that are just really long action sequences. And compared to other films that came out around the same time, ages pretty well, honestly. Like, the visual effects in Zion, while cheesy, look pretty nice. All in all, like, it looks okay. It looks okay. Looks better than most movies that came out around that time. Also, like, the visual design in the Matrix 2 and 3 are, like, weirdly unique. Like, those ship designs are just fucking cool as hell looking. And nothing really has, like, hovercrafts that look like they're ships. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the third one. I feel like I'm either going to absolutely love it or absolutely hate it. And there's going to be no in between. And I hope that I love it. I think I understand, like, I've never fully I've always been a defender of 2 and 3, but I've never fully understood why people don't like 2 and 3. But I think I may have figured it out. So, at least for the majority of people, people really like the first Matrix because all of the combat sequences in the Matrix, right? People really, really like stuff in the Matrix. 2, the second one starts off with a lot of stuff that doesn't happen in the Matrix. And I think a lot of people just remember the stuff that doesn't happen in the Matrix in that movie and don't remember the stuff that does happen in the Matrix in that movie. That, or because the first chunk of that movie, the whole religious preaching scene in Zion and the whole rave scene in Zion kind of lasts too long for some people. I wonder how many people didn't make it through that scene or only remember that scene. Because that whole sequence does last maybe a little bit longer than it should have. And I think they could have cut like maybe 5 minutes out of that scene. And I think that movie would have been better received. Also, I don't like cliffhangers in movies. The Matrix 2 ends with a terrible cliffhanger. Like a horrible cliffhanger. But I saw those movies once all 3 of them were out. So that might also be a reason why I defend it. Because I didn't have that cliffhanger. Right? when I watched The Matrix for the first time, I watched The Matrix 1, ate dinner, watched The Matrix 2, and then The Matrix 3, back to back, the first time I saw them. So I think that might have a degree of thing to do with it, because I didn't have to deal with that cliffhanger. And I think that the final thing is, the third Matrix has very little stuff that actually takes place in the Matrix. Like 80% of that film doesn't take place in the Matrix, and because people like stuff that takes place in the Matrix and not so much outside of the Matrix, like just the general consensus, in the Matrix is cooler than out of the Matrix. I think that's why people don't like them, because there's too much stuff happening outside of it. But I don't know. The machines probably freaked you out the most. Whenever there's a monster in a movie, you imagine how a hero might kill it. A swarm of those things would be a terrible undertaking. Absolutely, no, totally. Yeah, I'm gonna check again. I checked last night and I checked this morning. Yeah, as of December 22nd at 11:59 p.m., all events are reduced to 50% capacity and require... Oh, sorry, no. As of December 21st at 11:59 p.m., all seated events are reduced to 50% capacity and require QR code scanning for proof of vaccination. Well, they should have required that beforehand. Masking is required, and when not consuming concessions, and there are no charges to your ticket purchase. And there are no changes to your ticket purchase, and no action is required on behalf. We encourage guests to arrive for movies 30 minutes prior to showtime and be prepared to present their proof of vaccination and government-issued identification. Yeah, that's the status for movie theaters right now, which literally just means my showing isn't selling any more tickets. Which, hopefully that means I'm in a theater by myself. I would be very happy if I am. Hey, Kazmataz, what up? Yeah, I know you're talking about Quebec. All right. So we got a lot of that to clean up. We got a lot of that to rebuild. All right, well, that one stayed in place. That, and also, this is just me being a bit of a weirdo. But I do actually think that part of the reason Matrix 2 and 3 didn't do so well is because people are made very easily uncomfortable by movies that are full of religious symbolism. And The Matrix 2 and The Matrix 3 go deep into that stuff. And so I could see some people being made uncomfortable by that. East-west and west-east. I did that backwards. Same with down here. Nope, that's north-south. Okay, why am I not able to change that now? What button am I missing? Oh, it's because I'm in the wrong menu, that's why. West to east. East to west. East to west. West to east. East to west. West to east. All right. Man, some of my minecarts ended up in hilarious places. Any idea what the cause is? Being creative isn't a bad thing. Oh, you've got some fractured ribs. Oh, you'll be fine. In a way that wouldn't happen today. Yeah, I don't know. Another thing that I really, 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 really appreciate about The Matrix, and this is something that I wouldn't have noticed back then when those movies were new at all. But I definitely noticed now, is right now there's a massive push for more starring roles of people of color, more female starring roles, more representation in general. Matrix 2 and 3 has a shit ton of that, and it makes a lot of sense based on who the creators are. But, like, that's something that you don't see a lot from a lot of movies from that time period. I think that's really interesting. It's just interesting as, like, a timepiece, you know? It's like, it's aged better based on its casting than a lot of films from that time period. Like, a lot of films from the late 90s, early 2000s are very, 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 very whitewashed. And I just think that's just kind of neat. Finn's acting like he's Santa. Just getting out another subscription to Casmic Taz. Enjoy the ad-free viewing, courtesy of Vin, for the next 30 days. You know, you said thanks, right? But you said THX, so my brain just goes... or whatever the sound is that it makes when it goes... When the THX logo appears on screens. But yeah, enjoy the ad-free viewing. And thanks for hanging out. And thanks, Vin, being so generous. It was fairly accurate rendition. Happy holidays. Ho, 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 indeed. As they're all running around cleaning stuff up. Now I'm curious. I wonder if they can build rollers underneath constructed minecarts. Because the minecarts have almost all been reset already. But yeah, I think that those are the reasons why I will defend The Matrix 2 and 3 to my core. Is just... And it's not even the... You don't get it! It's like, if you don't like those movies, that's fine. But... I think the casting choices for those movies was ahead of its time. I think the visual effects were ahead of their time. And I just like those types of movies in general. So... it's maybe kind of an unfair comparison, but Scary Movie? I don't believe I've ever actually seen Scary Movie. Like, I've seen screen caps, and I've seen Scary Movie 4. But the reason I've seen Scary Movie 4 is I know 3 of the actors in it. Well, or rather, I used to be in a theater group when I was a little bit younger. A lot younger. Like, when I was 12. I did some musical theater as part of a... Anyway, Me and my sisters did musical theater for a couple of years. It's a long story. I was in Fiddler of the Roof once, but we did some musical theater, and a bunch of those kids actually went on to be in movies. Somebody I knew who was also named Keanu, oddly enough, ended up acting in Sandlot 3. If you've ever seen "You're killing me, Smalls," like that line, that's the Sandlot movies, and I know most of the cast of Sandlot 3, or knew at one point. Don't bother. It's funny that such a lowbrow franchise was so inclusive. I mean, I wonder if it's just because actors they got who they could get. But now I have seen Vampires Suck. That's a movie that I've seen. Unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know. Although, if I had to rate the Matrix movies on my favorite to least favorite, first one's my favorite, second one's second favorite, third's my least favorite. Third's a fine movie alongside of the other two, but on its own, it's the worst movie. I will agree with people on that. I just think it's better than people give it credit for. But the second one is a very good martial arts movie. I love the second Matrix. Also, this isn't a spoiler for the third Matrix, or for the fourth Matrix, but apparently they actually filmed on that highway. Because, you know, they made 2 kilometers of highway for the second Matrix. Apparently they actually filmed part of the newest one on that highway, which I think is kind of neat. This fucking highway that they made that hasn't been used for anything since. I just think that that's kind of a little Easter egg, which I personally really appreciate. These goblins are taking too long to clean these corpses up. It's kind of bothersome. All right, let's get some of these axles reinstalled. I'm just going to hope that these are all north-south. I can't remember if they are, but hope that they are. As somebody who watched that highway sequence like the other day, that whole Merovingian highway sequence thing, kind of fantastic. Kind of fantastic. That part of that movie makes that movie. I'm sorry, what? Diamond? Also, I'm just looking at a Wikipedia page right now. And I'm not sure how I landed here, but they're making a sequel to The Passion of the Christ. Just thought I'd state that out loud. There is a sequel in the works for The Passion of the Christ. What's that purple goo? You mean blue goo? I don't see any purple glue. You talking about this? Christ, I shit you not. It's called Passion of the Christ Resurrection. From the first. Oh, this is miasma. It's a visualization of the stench of rotting flesh. So it's this corpse rotting, which is the rotting corpse of a beak dog. Beak dogs are like basically tremors, and the goblins ride them. Yeah, it's lovely. Christ 2 Judgment Day. Now, okay, so chat, I'm here to announce my movie script. Okay, it's called Christ 2 Judgment Day. It's like a pseudo spiritual successor to this Passion of the Christ movies, except Jesus comes forward in time from the original time to cause an apocalypse here and take out all of the governments. And I'm just like imagining Jesus, but like he's the Terminator. Someone should make that movie. But yeah, just apparently they're making a sequel to Passion of the Christ. You would watch this? I'm thinking it's like what's the name of that movie that's just like Nazis on the inside on the dark side of the moon? It would be like that level of film. Like that's kind of what I want. It's just like or maybe it's just like starring half of the characters from yeah, Iron Sky, that's the name of it. Iron Sky. I just want Jesus to say, "I'll be back really, 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 really badly." From his story tomb, yeah. Except Jesus is actually like a zombie cyborg alien from outer space that's just like can time travel. I'm gonna go use the toilet. I've been streaming for 3 hours and I haven't had a break, and I've been up for a while. I'll be back in a sec. Oh, also Nicolas Cage plays Jesus. Anyway, BRB. No, Steve Buscemi would play would play Judas, not Jesus. Come on, come on. Steve Buscemi would play would play Judas, Nicolas Cage would play Jesus. Christopher Kirby played James Washington in Iron Sky. Huh. Interesting. I need to rewatch Iron Sky. As I did see that movie once a while ago when it was recommended to me, and I never went back to it. You're a nervous wreck after being caught in a snowstorm. Sounds like most of, like, the States. Well, while I was in the restroom, I was thinking, what if it's like a crossover between, like, what if Jesus 2 Judgment Day was a crossover with Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter? That was a movie that was made, right? I have like this vague recollection of seeing that movie. And somehow we need to make Walt Disney come back from the dead during this movie. Or maybe, like, rewrite his name so that Disney doesn't sue us. Can call him, like, Malt Disney or something. You've never seen that? You've never seen Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter? Did you legit just, like, have a moment of, like, blind? Did you make that up? All right, another vile force of darkness has arrived. Meaning I have to lock some doors again. We have to go back to repairing stuff. Just wait until all these goblins are inside. Give them like 10 seconds. And close the front gate. Anybody who's stuck outside is SOL. A child goblin holding a toy. A copper slide whistle. I had to Google that one. Well. It's a very good documentary, I'll say that. What? You already hired Danny DeVito as Judas? Damn it. Well, You know, I think I might like your casting more. Danny DeVito is Judas and Steve Buscemi is Jesus. We need to work Nicolas Cage in here somehow. Maybe Nicolas Cage is like the CEI agent in modern day who's trying to like stop them all. Well, let's hope that everybody's inside and finish this. I like that there's just a goblin pushing a minecart around. It's just kind of funny to me. We're too late? What? Terminator Jesus trailer? Well, crap. 2010. We're just rebooting it. Don't worry. It's fine. We'll get the rights. No, like Arnold Schwarzenegger would like just be some random dude who shows up in the background. Sort of like because like I'm assuming everybody everybody please no guys. I mean, definitely there will be strong female characters in the cast, but not in the entire cast. It doesn't work in either direction, really. Although all female cast in a Jesus 2 reboot trailer would be very funny. Or maybe someone says, "I'll be back," and then maybe Jesus visits Arnold in a church, and Arnold is like a pastor, like giving a sermon, and then Jesus shows up and he says, "I'm back," and he looks at him and goes like, "Heard that line before." As somebody who's seen some Michael Bay films in the relative recent memory, I would recommend against Michael Bay doing anything in film, just in general, kind of as a rule, in fact. Because his recent work is not good, to put it politely. Not good at all. Which one? Tazmataz. Which one? They made a couple of them. All of them? Okay. Because I, personally, that first Transformers movie, was a good, silly movie at the right time. Oh boy. Oh well, at least it's just grime and filth. The forgotten beast Nibbin has come, a gigantic quadruped composed of grime and filth. It has 3 short horns and a gaunt appearance. What is it with 3 short horns? Beware its deadly spittle. It's gonna spit on us. All right, well, let's let this thing come into the fort, and then we'll just slap it because it's just grime and filth, which means it's pretty weak. I'm not too worried. I'm not going to defend any of those movies, but I did think that the first one of those movies was an entertaining film, even though it wasn't a very good film. It was still an entertaining film. Whereas, like, I'm someone who's very bothered by military fetishism, and I've seen a couple Michael Bay movies in the past few years. They almost always end up being kind of grossly military fetishist by the end, to a point where it's like, I kind of don't like them. Yeah, the Q is the forgotten beast. The Q is a quadruped, which is a 4-legged creature, composed of grime and filth, and my goblins are now fighting with it. The forgotten beast, let's see. Swordsman slaps the forgotten beast in the right rear leg with the flat of his iron short sword. Wow, his iron short sword is damaged. That happens. Mace Lord bashes the forgotten beast in the upper body with his copper flail, fracturing it. The swordsman slashes at the forgotten beast in the left rear leg, in the left rear foot with its iron short sword. Master Lasher scratches the forgotten beast in the right front leg, fracturing it. The forgotten beast misses the lasher, but the Mace Lord latches on firmly. Slapping it with the side of a sword. Yeah, whacking it. And then it shoots out some spittle. There's blood on the ground. They're piling on top of it. Also, for reference, this thing's probably about 2 stories tall. But all the tiles are represented as the same size. All of the blue text is good. Purple text means weapons are impaled in it. And red text means it's hitting us or attacking. But red text, it's also missing. So that's fine. Miss. Excellent. We're winning. Most recent hits are the Master Lasher lashes the forgotten beast in the left rear leg with her Stutzud, chipping it, which is a named weapon, and the stray flying red-nosed reindeer gores the forgotten beast in the lower body with her right antler, chipping it. And then Militia Commander pulls out an embedded spear and gains possession of the spear. The fight continues. The creature is dead. The Militia Commander stabs the forgotten beast in the right rear foot with her iron spear, chipping it. And it's dead. All right, the grime and filth creature is now done. Really? I've seen that word before. I agree you don't see it very often, but I wouldn't say it's that uncommon. Let's rebuild these minecarts if I get the opportunity to. I'd like to let this siege in, but I have to get these minecarts up and running first. Starship Troopers is one of the best comedies I've ever seen. It's an absolutely incredible satirical comedy. I love that movie. But I like to think I like it for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. It's pretty easy to understand why someone could like that movie for the wrong reasons. So we're under siege by one of 2 goblin factions that we're at war with. I can figure out who they are by looking at their armor, because they usually have engravings on them. The little icons on either side, the little arrows pointing either way, indicates that there is an engraving or artwork. Same on the helms. And on the item is a rendition of the Fell of Whisper, a superiorly designed image of 2 red spinach. The image is the symbol of the Thief of Rhyming, a goblin civilization, and it is made from shale. So the only way to actually know who's sieging you is by looking at engravings on their armor. Assuming they're rich enough to have engravings on their armor. Are we winning? We're not fighting with them right now. The gates are sealed, so they're outside and sieging me. But yes, we will win. I'm just simply resetting my traps. Or we should win. Kind of surprised if we didn't, to be honest. That, forbid that one. Forbid that. That needs to get done. Yes, red is blood from previous fights. So anything with a red background is dead. These are like bones and body parts. So that's someone's head. That's a finger. There's a lot of teeth. Bits and pieces of bodies. This one's, there's a bunch of teeth on this that got knocked out, as well as a partial skeleton because its head is over here somewhere. Yeah. And then the blue is troll blood. Troll blood is blue. This is all red blood. Yeah. So this is the remnants from a fight. This game is viscerally violent, even though it maybe doesn't appear that way all the time. This game is viscerally violent. There is a lot of viscera and gore in Dwarf Fortress, which is part of the reason why it's so fun. Okay, so 3 of them have been replaced. This one is missing one entirely. I'm resetting your minecart. Let's reset this one. I'm going to put a minecart there. We also need to finish building that. Yep. I mean, it's probably not going to be out for a little bit, but I've been covering those updates on YouTube for a long time. Like, to put it bluntly, I have, I think, about 70 videos now on my YouTube channel. Specifically about the Steam version of DF. I mean, it's already been a long time, but it's Dwarf Fortress. Development of Dwarf Fortress is very slow. Always has been slow and probably will continue to be slow for the foreseeable future. But it'll hopefully be out sometime next year. Hopefully. I mean, it was announced in 2019, so it's been a bit already. Just trying to get the last of the viscera from here cleared out so we can finish this up. All right, let's assign vehicle. None. Assign vehicle, so we're going to move it to a different stop. Remove the vehicle from there. Place the vehicle there. Remove the vehicle from there. And place the vehicle there. Roughly that. I think it's the number is actually higher now. Wave depletion. I think the number might actually be higher than... I haven't looked at the playlist in a while, but I think that there's more than 70 of them. Pretty sure there's more than 70. Also, chat, we haven't had enough reasons to do this today, but can I just get a round of beers? Just say everybody a real quick happy holidays. Thanks, everybody, for choosing to watch my stream. I know a lot of people are busy with holiday stuff at this time of year, but, you know, thanks for hanging out. I think we'll probably aim to do another hour and a half of this fort today. Mess around with minecarts some more. Then after we're done messing about with this, I think we're going to dive into some more War Sim, because I got some keys to give away for that, courtesy of Hobo, who bought a bunch of keys for War Sim for the purpose of giveaways. Because all purchases of War Sim between the 20th and the 25th go towards charity. So we're going to help out a little bit with that. That's 3 of them back in place, I think. 1, 2, 3. I really hope that this still works when I pull that lever. Also got that to replace. So much viscera from the previous fight. We're still cleaning up. It's going to take forever. You've got check 1, 2, 3, 4. This one here doesn't have one. There's one more that we got to sort out. And then I can try turning these on and see if they work. And if they do, then we can just lock everything down and start up again. Hopefully they do. Gold minecart. This is going to be curious. This one's going to be curious. Waiting for that last minecart. Is anybody bringing it? I don't see it. There is a minecart on that track, though. That's the one that's going to end up being on the track. Don't see any goblins carrying any minecarts right now. Also, keep in mind, these minecarts are made of gold. Imagine getting hit at like 100 miles an hour by a minecart made of gold. That shit's gotta hurt. The momentum on that is just like, whoa. You are now suddenly flat, my friend. Sounds expensive. It's fine. It's the only metal we have here. We are very rich goblins. Unfortunately, money has no meaning in Dwarf. So you know what's going to be really challenging for me, chat? Is as of tomorrow, I will have seen The Matrix. And it's going to be my goddamn duty to not spoil it for any of you guys. Is anybody else here planning to watch The Matrix? Aside from, like, I think Smitty is the one other person that I know. Is anybody else here planning on watching The Matrix in the next, like, week? Because maybe what I'll do is I'll just put, like, a spoiler venting session up on Patreon or something. Just so that you can avoid spoilers. Yeah, honestly, if I had HBO, I would do that. But it's actually cheaper. Because in order for me to get HBO in Canada, I can get it through Amazon Prime, or I can get it through another service, and both of them end up costing me more than just going to go see the movie. So I'm just gonna go see the movie because it's like it's just cheaper that way. Is it a remake? Nope. It's a sequel. It's a continuation. So you aren't packed in here? That's fair. You're gonna look into it. Yeah, see, I don't have access to HBO, and HBO is one of those services in Canada that's weirdly annoying to actually get access to. They're bringing those. Okay, they're just throwing that stuff. Alrighty, gubbies, let's try this. Lock everybody back inside. Pull this lever. Let's see if this shit works. I just wired it back up, and I'm just kind of hoping that it works. All right, this top one's not working for some reason. And none of these are working. Uh-oh. Okay, so this got disconnected somewhere. The question is, where did it get disconnected? Okay, so this is generating the power all the way up to here. Oh, I see the problem. I see the problem. Well, this is going to end well for that goblin in there. Oop. Well, you got smacked, and you're probably dead. Zod the Brewer. I mean, just because your leg is mangled beyond recognition doesn't mean you're going to die, right? Right? I mean, even if you do, what could possibly go wrong? I'm going to lock you guys back in here for a second. Well, that goblin comes up here to stop that. There we go. Now I can unlock this. Yeah, that is better than watching it in French. Not that there's anything wrong with watching movies in French, but... watching movies in the language that they were written for is generally better, in my experience. Oh, we get to reset all these. Some of them, not so much. You don't need to be reset. You don't need to be reset. The rest of them do, however, need to be reset. Wonder if any of these minecarts have kills. Sometimes they credit the minecarts with kills. This one might. Nope. What this one? Nope. Yeah, I've even heard like mixed reports as to whether or not American movie theaters are a lot like checking proof of vaccination. At the very least here, like even if you're out in public, everywhere is checking proof of vaccination here. That's like the only reason I have any confidence to go anywhere is like at the very least it's like, well, I know that the people in the building are at the very least vaccinated. Or they've put in a lot of effort to fake it, at which point then not much you can really do. Some people are just going to be shitheads. All right, well, we can forbid that and forbid that. There you go. You're coming. Huh? Oh, I see. I get to rebuild that one. That's fine. We can do that. Because this switch got flipped, which is fine. Yeah, it's definitely not happening here. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard that LA specifically, because that's where I have friends, is pretty bad for that currently. Okay, let's hook you back up. I'm having to rehook up stuff purely because of how these sieges go. Which should just launch all of those. Heads up, chat. Investments are open. There you go. You connect that and rebuild that. Then you guys get launched. We lock the goblins back inside. Pull this lever. And let the enemy forces inside. And while we're doing this, I'm going to connect this to that gear assembly. Yes, which should work. All right, so this door is now open, meaning the not so many enemy siegers can come in, fight. Just in time for investments. Hey, Seth. We're playing some goblins in a holiday-themed mod. Playing Frost Goblins. I hope your holiday season is going well. Playing around with minecarts. Because goblins. Looks like you only had 25, so the invest 100 probably didn't work. You also have to spell invest correctly. Minecart traps. Yep, playing with minecarts. I don't normally like doing this sort of stuff with dwarves because, you know, it just feels weird that dwarves would do a thing like this with a transport utility, but goblins, they have no sense of fairness. One of these isn't working. I'm not actually sure why this one's not working. But the rest are. That's what matters. Happy Yule. Yeah, that thing. There's an elf coming in. You know, the fact that your name is okay is very funny to me. Elf. Okay. So, chat, do we think that this elf is going to make it in? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or... All right, that's one. And, okay. Tricky fingers. So far, so good. Pretty good dodging stats on this one. Zip. Okay, sidestep. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, well. Yeah, it strikes the elf bard in the upper leg, and the injured part is smashed into the body into an unrecognizable mass. An artery has been opened by the attack. The elf's upper body skids along the ground, deflected by its naff cloak. The right lower leg skids along the ground, but it is deflected by the elf bard's knaf robe. Then a minecart strikes it again in the upper body, bruising the muscle and bruising the liver through the naff cloak. The lower body skids along the ground, but is deflected by the elf bard's naff cloak. The minecart then strikes it again in the throat, and the injured part explodes into gore. An artery has been opened by the attack, only one, and the lower body skids into the ground, and it is deflected. The elf bard skids along the ground, bruising the muscle through the Remy bard's hood. Yeah. Hey, wait, what? You're just in time. We are waiting for this siege to walk through my minecarts. Like I said, you're just in time. I'm glad that you agree as well. You think a throat exploding would open more arteries? Yeah. It isn't an elven name? Doesn't surprise me. Everybody seems very intermingled here. It may also have been a polar elf, which seemed very goblin-y. Who we are not actually at wars with. But in reality, it wasn't angry, but the minecart definitely was. Right, so right now we're following Zom, who has unfortunately spelled their name wrong. Their name's actually Zoom, and they're about to get zoomed to death by that minecart that they're about to step into. If they bunch up, they seem the best, because then they try and dodge out of the way of the minecarts, and then they dodge into each other. Okay means fresh. Nice. Speaking of words, has anybody here played, I think it's called Battle Royale? Also, the Steam Winter sale started. Yeah, Battle Royale. Has anybody tried that? It's literally it's a Battle Royale game, but it's Scrabble. But so you can get like little hats and stuff for your Scrabble icons. But the best part about it, which I'll do real quick before the game gets there, is free to play sucks. Lifetime pass for $60. You can just buy everything that they're ever going to do, which I think is kind of great. Another thing that I think is kind of interesting. I'm actually going to pause this for a second, because I want to shout out this Mercury Prime. This is the being published by those people. Look at this. This looks like an Us game, chat. Can I just say that I love the art style of this? I had to say that. I point that out. All right, well. Looks like Burr's up front. You know, I think the Dwarf Fortress needs a wording of many arteries were opened by the attack. Let's see how good this beak dog is at dodging. Well, not very good at dodging. I guess that answers that question. On to the next one. I'm sure they're worried. But they still have a mission to complete, and they're probably more worried about the demon that runs their faction. Because goblin factions are run by demons. Bonk. Okay, these ones are dodging. Slightly more efficiently. Whoop! Ooh! Double smack. Look at that. Look at that. Ooh! Also, these are like wild animals too, so I don't think they quite have the same sense of danger as the slightly more intelligent trolls that are on their way and goblins. The trolls can actually like destroy the mechanisms though because they're building destroyers. The trolls are actually kind of a major threat. Ooh, we're looking for blue blood. Come on! There you go. That's one. Well, we got one. And they run through pretty quick. Come on. Come on. It's those. Yay! We got two more. Two more. Two more. That's what we need. Two more. Don't you dare break the mechanisms. Aw, damn it. They got another one. All right, so the only minecart operating in this track still working is the one on the far left. Bonk. Whoop. There goes one. That's one troll. And that. Okay, that's two. And three. I think. Oh, no, but they took it out. Damn it. All right, so this trap number 1 is now completely deactivated, and I'm going to go station my military up here. And here comes part 2. Ooh, well, you didn't make it too far from part 2 down, did ya? Now, did ya? Ooh, look at that. He got chucked over there. Look at this guy. What are you even doing? What are you even doing? Oh, no. How dare you take out 3 of my engines? Nope. Here comes troll number 2. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I love watching them just get launched. I'm a demon? No, I'm blind. I'm an omnipotent being that is not present in the world. But factions have kings and queens that are physical presences that exist within the game world. I am not a physical presence that exists within the game world. But all factions have kings or queens or various royalty. Goblin royalty is a demon from the time before time. As the player in Dwarf Fortress, you're not actually playing a present being in the world. You are a player, whatever the player may be. Does my particular faction have one? Now that's a good question. It doesn't appear to be, actually. I don't see an overlord, but it's hard to say. Yeah, they're pretty efficient about them. Which actually makes me believe that this trap structure is not as good as it used to be. And they also can, like, do it while they're pretty wounded, too. All right, well, that's the track on the right that's completely deactivated now. We can probably just close the gate, actually. Although, like, now that most of the trolls are gone... Ugh! I think as long as you can set it up in such a way so that the trolls are not going to, like, ever get near, the mechs, then it's pretty efficient. It's quite good at taking out non-troll threats. So as long as there's no trolls in whatever army you're fighting against, it seems pretty efficient. All right, well, we've got our first 3 that have made it through, so. Anyway, here come the goblins, which are very thirsty because they need to go get drinks. Let's also pull this lever. And some other goblin up here to pull the lever. And hope that my casualties aren't too high, because one of those minecarts is still spinning. Not too bad so far. Almost no casualties for us, just 1. Make that 2. Yeah, it looks like they are turning and running now. Just what you want to see. That's 3. I'm gonna turn the military off and let them run back inside. Seems like some of the minecarts are still going. Looks like some of my goblins got caught in there. Seems like kind of a lot of my goblins actually got caught in that minecart. Ooh, that hurt. Yeah, looks like we kind of killed a few of my own goblins with the minecarts. That's okay, though. It was a good siege overall, though, I would say. They might come back for us, but... Is there a system for fear? Absolutely. Can your faction become feared by others? Your renown and value can go up, and you can cause civil wars. The diplomacy system, like making peace, is like almost a non-possibility at this point. Why is that one still going? It shouldn't be. But the systems that are, I think, criminally underdeveloped in Dwarf Fortress are generally in the diplomacy section. There is an enemy goblin in here. This would be so much easier to do if I was playing dwarves and not goblins. So much easier. All right, it's off now. It should slow down. I say should. I don't know why it hasn't yet. Please tell me it's slowing down. Yes, it's slowing down. All right, we can let them out. There's something that's scaring them. I don't know what it is. It's not the corpses, so there's got to be an invader still alive in here. That or they're turning around. Nope, they are definitely still running. So who's still inside then? So station them up there and they'll hopefully deal with anything between here and there. Why? I don't have an answer for you. If you're asking why parts of the game are underdeveloped, the developers of this game, Tarn and Zach, develop what they're interested in and the things that occupy them, right? Why would it be easier with dwarves? Because instead of everything being G's, the dwarves would have different icons. And because quite literally my units are identical to the enemies unless I examine them manually, it's very difficult for me to determine who is who. Like, I'll be honest, like I'm pretty good at like immediately deciphering what is what in DF, but in this fort, because I'm playing goblins and I'm fighting against goblins, it's pretty hard to tell. That should be pretty self-explanatory, I would think. Like, kind of very self-explanatory. Like, it would be easier to tell who you're fighting against if half of them have dwarf icons instead of goblin icons. Anyway, chat, can I get a round of beers? We're a little lurky. Like, yesterday the stream ended early because chat got so lurky that there was no chat left. And I don't want that to happen again, so let's try and just keep those conversations flowing. But literally anything. Doesn't matter what it is. Because the quieter the chat gets, the less interesting the stream gets for everybody involved, myself included. And I would like to play some more Sim today. We need chat to keep moving. Mets? I don't watch sport. But you're welcome to talk about sport. I just know literally nothing about it. So how about them? They're listening while soldering? What are you soldering? Please tell me it's a synthesizer. Speaking of synthesizers, it's getting very difficult to order a Mini Brute 2S. They're making it very difficult. Baseball is non-existent in Europe. I don't believe I've ever watched a game of baseball. Ooh. I wish I had enough, like, ventilation in my apartment to solder, but I really don't, so thus I don't solder things. Favorite CUD build? That's like asking somebody what's your favorite oxygen to breathe. I couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. It's all just oxygen. I'm like the worst person to just be like, favorite this thing, because the answer is always going to be the same, and it depends on how I'm feeling. One that doesn't kill me. Kaz. And now, Kaz, with no context, give me your top 10 favorite bands of all time. Or singers. Or musical artists. Because that's about the same question. It's like, I don't know. Like this, like Caves of Cut is a game with like a billion fucking combinations. I can fucking tell you. Also because half the time your builds end up partially randomized anyway because you don't know what you're going to get at the start. Because if you're playing a mutant, you get random shit. I can tell you this, I prefer playing mutants over Truekin. Truekin I find just kind of annoying. And overpowered and boring, frankly. Generally, if you can give somebody a nose drop favorite thing on a particular subject, you have a very slim take on that subject. If someone can just sit there and be like, rattle off top 5 immediately, it's like, you don't have a very nuanced opinion then. Nothing interesting to talk about there. Ah, Seth is working. It's Steam Winter Sale. Cool. Who cares? Well, because, see, here's the thing. Personalities and takes change. My favorite games in 2004 are not my favorite games now. My favorite bands in 2010 are not my favorite bands now. My favorite game to stream in 2015 is not my favorite game to stream now. Opinions and takes change. Generally, they become more and more nuanced as time goes on. You don't have favorites? Exactly. Isn't top something like a tier list? Aren't tier lists subjective and bullshit and designed purely to get clicks? You know, part of the reason I am not more famous is because I refuse to do things that I know for fact are just like, yo, this exists to get clicks. I really hate doing that. Like, I should be making 3 shorts a day on YouTube. Every single clip on Twitch should be made into a short. I should be making multiple tier lists for indie games that I've played and roguelikes and stuff, but they're all arbitrary and bullshit. And because I don't care about that kind of arbitrary opinion bullshit, who cares? Yes, to a degree, Kazmataz. But also, that's not what 99% of tier lists are. Do you know how much money I've turned down from Raid Shadow Legends over the years, man? Like, probably about $4,000 in sponsorships. Probably about that. Maybe more, actually. Also, because you reminded me that the Steam sale's on, I'm not even tabbed into Dwarf Fortress right now, and I'm just going through my queue to get a bunch of keys. Or to get a bunch of trading cards for Steam. And unlock some badges. While I'm waiting for these goblins to put shit away. Because you don't want to hawk and influence music gear online? Were you offered stuff because of your YouTube channel? I don't even know who that is, Kazmataz, so I will smile and nod. But like the reason you'll never see me do tier lists and shit like that in Dwarf Fortress is because I believe that if you're playing Dwarf Fortress with tier lists and optimal guides and stuff, you're actively taking away from your own enjoyment of the game. If you go into Dwarf Fortress purely to just play the game and role play and enjoy the emergent storytelling, you will enjoy the game a lot more. You do want to spend £90 on Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires Deluxe Edition? I mean, then you should spend £90 on Dynasty Warriors 9. I have a question. Is Dynasty Warriors 10 Empires Deluxe Edition going to be €100? And then 11 going to be €111? I'm just curious if this is how this works, or if that's just nice numbers that happen to line up. You know what you could also spend about or less than €90 on? My annual Patreon subscriptions are currently 16% off. So you could get sound commands for a whole year for like $70. If you want to, support your boy and, fun to stream. Totally optional, of course. But, gotta mention it. I've unlocked 12 trading cards. I think that's enough. Maybe I should make a synth YouTube channel. Although I realistically have a synth and a pedal right now, so. I've been trying to buy a mini brute for a bit, but. You know, ironically, I'm kind of planning on doing that. But that's because, like, that's how I fund my hobbies. Unfortunately, like, record player companies are not so keen to just give you free stuff. And I've had, like, minimal luck getting free stuff from record labels. So, I've tried. Ooh, that zombie's still here. Support the stream. Thanks for the sub to Magic. Cheers, Spooky. Jack, can I get a round of beers for Spooky being cool? Sorry if that was peer pressure, but I was just halfway memeing. But also, you know, you got to put ad placements in for your own shit. $75 games on your wish list are on sale. Thanks, Steam. How it feels to chew 5 gum? Zope? This isn't the music of DF. Dwarf Fortress has like 2 minutes of music, and it's a guitar riff that plays on repeat indefinitely forever. I am listening to Twin Black Lodges, which is a soundscape generator on mynoise.net, which is a noise generator website. They have a bunch of different noise generators of all sorts. We are moving these to the garbage masher. Oh, also another thing that's awesome about DF, that I love about DF, that most logical human beings should hate about this video game, is bodies take a realistic amount of time to decompose, meaning if there is a corpse, it will become bones in a year or so. And then another 300 to 500 years for the bones to disappear and degrade. And most players never even play that long, so if you just leave corpses around, they'll just hang around for forever. Which I love. I hope I got that the right way. We'll have to test it. In Dynasty Warriors 9 Empire's Deluxe Edition, or in somewhere else? Steam Point Shop? Oh. There's a points shop on Steam? Like, genuine statement, like, I didn't even know that. I just found a new button on Steam that I've literally never noticed before. Huh. Can I just say that it's really ironic that Cyberpunk has one that's just called consumerism, and it's just a lot of falling pills? Huh. Well, that's not good. The enemy have come and are laying siege to the fortress. Oh, it's actually humans. All right. Well, let's lock ourselves inside again. Because human siege will give us a minute. And I see that stone. I'll get to it in a second. Let's just let you get inside, Miner. Once you're inside, we'll lock the door. But you have to get inside first. Why are you so thirsty and hungry? Oh, also, Kazmataz, I want to tell you a secret about Dwarf, or ask you a question about Dwarf Fortress, just to see what kind of assumption level you're at. How do you get an elephant out of a tree? It sounds like the start of a bad joke, but it's a genuine question. How do you get an elephant out of a tree? Out of a tree. No, not into a tree. No, it's easy to get into a tree. You just put it under a tree and scare it, and then it'll jump into the tree. How do you get it out of the tree? Okay, well, you could cut it down, or you could tell it to stand on a leaf and wait until fall. That's one of the best ways to wrap your brain around DF logic initially. Because that's how DF operates. But yeah, no, getting animals into a tree is actually very easy in Dwarf Fortress. You just have to startle them. And they'll probably just jump up there by themselves with no... And the player has to put almost no effort. Sometimes they appear on trees when they enter the map. Yes, this is also true. Yeah. Sometimes your squads will get stuck in a tree and then starve to death when they come back from raids in heavily forested maps. Also a very common sign of frame rate death. Common cause of frame rate death, rather. Because they try and path out and freak out. I think I can give you an answer to that, and it's probably no. Tarn. I mean, we can ask it, but like, I want them to put like some backgrounds and shit. I mean, I want Epion to do that, but like, I don't think there will be any like tradable skins or anything. Like, I don't think they'll have any kind of Steam Marketplace stuff. But I kind of want like a Euristic background, you know. In SC? Oh, Star Citizen. Okay. My brain went to StarCraft and then Soul Calibur. That's how, when I see SC in my chat, the first thing I think of is StarCraft. The second thing I think of is Soul Calibur. How's the siege going? Well, we won the last one, and then this one just started. We killed a Forgotten Beast, and a Were Creature showed up and left before they became a Were Creature. So it's been pretty eventful today, I would say. And I'm trying to clean off my minecart rails again. I don't really... Chat, I've got a question. Should we retire this fortress today? I don't really know what else to do with it. I mean, I guess I could dig too deep or anything that we've done before. But I don't really know what else to do with it. I mean, it kind of just became the let's fiddle around with minecarts fort. And I'm kind of just bored of goblins? I think this kind of goes to all of the problems that I have with races that are not dwarves in DF where they just feel underdeveloped. And these guys just kind of feel underdeveloped. It's not a fault of the mod, it's more of a fault of DF. Because, like, you know, you're not really supposed to be playing goblins. You see, I can't. Zope. And the reason I can't is because I'm getting sieged 3 times a stream. I can't even get migrants. Like, my population is set to 200. I'm at 67 because I'm getting sieged 4 times a year. The second a siege leaves, I get hit by another one within the week. So I literally can't deliver gifts to all of the evil children of the world. Not unless something drastic changes. It's poor evil kids. Well, they were misbehaving. But like realistically, before I go on vacation, because I'm going on, for those of you who don't know, I'm taking the 25th to the 30th off, and I'll be back on the 31st. If we retire this fort today, or in like an hour or so, then we can fiddle around in Legends for a little bit, maybe. Maybe. And then tomorrow, we can try and finish that Warsim playthrough. We can also work on that tonight. And then on Christmas, we can just hang out, listen to records for a bit, and then I'll do my annual playthrough of Portal, and then we can just call it at that point. Raid death? Oh, no. Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? If this was a fort that I was planning to play for the long term, eventually the people attacking you will run out of soldiers and they will stop, right? Eventually. But it will probably, like, at the rate that they're going and the amount of stuff that I have to fight against, it would probably take, I want to say, another 5 to 10 years in game for the raids to slow down. At which point, then we could fight back, which would be fun for a full-length fort. But because these are goblins, and because goblins are kind of disgustingly easy to manage, I'm just not that enthused with this playthrough currently. But it's been fun messing around with minecarts for the first time in a long time and seeing how well they work now. And reminding myself how that system works. So that's been fun. We've killed a lot of forgotten beasts. Like, also, goblins have the most overpowered weapon in the game. Like, I intentionally do not use... Yeah, a long tunnel. That would do it. I intentionally do not use whips in forts normally. I know that you can change your raws so that dwarves can make and use whips, but I intentionally do not use whips because I think whips are broken as fuck. Like, they are brutally overpowered. And they're fun to fight against, but like as a thing to be contesting with or using to your advantage as a player, like there's been multiple fights against forgotten, like at least 2 forgotten beast fights I should have lost, but we have whips. So you should not use them to police your own dwarves. They are far and away the most overpowered weapon in the game. By a long shot. Paranoid. Yeah. Far and away. I mean, for me personally, Joe, I like mods, or I like Dwarf Fortress mods to make the game more challenging. One of my favorite, and also Nick's used to be rich. Can I get a round of beers for Nick's? Cheers. One of my favorite features of the Long Night, which is a mod I need to stream more of, is that the Long Night will just kill you. It adds a lot of things, and also a bit of a hitch. Not sure what's causing that. I should probably do a hard save. Seized up. If it crashes, we'll just call that the end. Fine. It's responding again. Everything's just stopped. Oh, there it's back. All right. We'll just do a real quick hard save. The 2 best mods for the game, in my opinion, are the Rise of the Mushroom Kingdom and which is the Super Mario Brothers mod, and Long Night. And those are absolute overhaul mods, right? The Long Night basically makes the game into nightmare mode where everything just kills you immediately. Like you cannot, you have to lock yourself underground and hide from everything, because if you stay on the surface, things will just kill you. Things that you can't really fight against. Well, they will just kill you. And Rise of the Mushroom Kingdom is similar, but things just kill you because they're so strange. And mods that I've found that are less interesting are mods like the Star Wars mod, which largely is just Dwarf Fortress, but you play as Jawas, and there's a billion different kind of robots. But the reason the Star Wars mod is funny is because just of how deep they go into Star Wars lore, and there is literally thousands of robots that you can get that all do different things. Some that are like literally taller than multiple stories that can just walk over a wall. Like I had robots that would just like walk up to a wall, go up the wall and over the wall, like didn't even care. And that kind of stuff is really fun to play against because you'd never really know what to expect. Right now, at least with the goblins, because I haven't played the elves in this mod, but at least with the goblins are kind of suffering from the same problem that they suffer from vanilla, where you just change your raws to be able to settle as goblins. Goblins don't need alcohol. They don't really care if there's violence, generally. We have one depressed goblin. I didn't even give them bedrooms for 5 years. We have one depressed goblin, who is this guy, and we had one other one who died. I don't think they can tantrum. Like, they're just extremely easy to manage. So if you're going to have a faction that's extremely easy to manage, there needs to be a lot of things that try to kill you. Maybe just make, like, wild raven deer incredibly common and make them attack a lot. Or, is it possible to build an above-ground core fortress that's not inside a mountain? Absolutely. No, totally. You could build a giant glass inverted pyramid. You could build a giant sphere. You could build a treehouse for some reason. You could build only on the lowest possible layer and have lava all around you. You could just dig a giant hole. You could flatten the entire map and, yeah, of course. Like, I could just go up here and just start building walls. I mean, if you jump over to my YouTube channel and look up my most recent VOD of Long Death, which is a fortress I'm keeping alive for 1,000 years, most of that fortress is suspended above the map. The vast majority of it is just suspended up above, which is awesome, by the way. So, yes, you can absolutely build whatever you want. This game, like, okay, so Minecraft building? This game was doing Minecraft building 5 years before Minecraft. Like those big crazy builds that people do? This game was doing that years before Minecraft. So if you could build something in Minecraft, theoretically you could do it in Dwarf Fort. Still have a hard time wrapping your mind around ramps and floor and wall and all that? Why is that? It's just like moving from one layer to a next in an RTS game. So you can have a floor. You can have a layer, a floor, right? You can have the layer below, and a dwarf can't go from this layer to that layer because it's a sheer wall. You can put a ramp that goes up that allows them to diagonally walk up. You can make stairs, which allows them to walk vertically up and go over like an elevator, or you can dig underneath it and let them go underneath it. What more do you need to wrap your mind around? There's DOS Tactics' best video is a 7-minute video on how stairs work in Dwarf Fort. which is very helpful. Oh no, we lost Taco Nuva in that last fight. That sucks. But yeah, I would watch Das Tactics video on the subject if you have a hard time wrapping your mind around that. Although I will say that it's one of those things where it's like if you overthink it, it seems more complicated than it actually is because it's never actually that bad. Not much, Mark. Yourself. How are you? I hope you as well. With no way out? Well, so it's one of those things where it's like I could show you in like 10 seconds in a diagram. It's like if I dig 2 channels like this and then go down here and dig 2 more channels, they won't be able to get out of down here. They won't be able to get out because they'll be down here and they won't be able to get back out. But if I dig 2 channels with an up-down stair next to it, then they'll be able to get out. But the up-down stair needs to be on the same level as them, and channels dig out that layer plus the layer beneath it. If that's what you mean. I don't know. When it comes to that sort of stuff, it's like if you're having that kind of problem and like your dwarves can't get out, take a screenshot of the layer, take a screenshot of the layer above and the screenshot of the layer below and post it on Discord and we'll fix it for you in like 2 minutes. Because if you're digging channels, you have to dig diagonally for them to be able to get back out. If you're digging stairs, you can go vertically. So if you're going vertically, you should be using a down stair for the top layer that you're going down, and then up down stairs. And then when you hit the bottom, so you don't put a hole in your floor, you use an up stair. So you cap your staircase off with the up and down stairs. Ironically, and the funny part about Dwarf Fortress is the only reason the stairs are so complicated is because of the game's perspective. The Sims uses the exact same system for building stairs. It is identical to Dwarf Fortress. But it's simple because it's in a 3D space, right? But because Dwarf Fortress isn't in a 3D space, it's in a 2D space, it becomes a lot more complicated to wrap your brain around when you start saying things like downstairs, upstairs, and up downstairs. I don't know what XY means, but you need to, you can have a stair that either goes all the way through both floors or only through the bottom floor or only going upwards. So if you put an up-down stair, it automatically punches a hole in the bottom floor and the floor above it. It's not complicated. It's actually very simple. But like I completely understand why people think it's so complicated. It's all in the wording. It is all in the wording. Yeah, it's like each layer in Dwarf Fortress is 4 Minecraft blocks essentially, right? You have the 2 that they cut out when you mine through, and then the one for the flooring and the one for the ceiling in the middle, right? No, I don't think it's more complicated than Dwarf Fortress. You're putting words into my mouth. It is just as difficult to learn CUD as it is to learn Dwarf Fortress, if not harder to learn CUD than it is to learn Dwarf Fortress in places. There are parts of Dwarf Fortress that are harder to learn than CUD. I never said it was more complicated. I simply said the act of learning it is a similar level of learning curve. So if you can learn CUD, you can learn Dwarf Fort. It's the same process to learn the games. Because they're both games without a tutorial, that will just kill you. CUD is a harder game, because CUD is a game that you can put 20 hours into and a thing breathes on you and then suddenly your run is done. Adventure mode in Dwarf Fortress can have moments like that, but I don't think that adventure mode in Dwarf Fortress revels in killing you as much as Caves of Cud does. The developers of Caves of Cud are mercilessly mean roguelike developers, whereas Tarn Adams wants to build story generators that build interesting narratives, not just a game that kills you. Have I played a lot of adventure mode? I've played enough. I like adventure mode. It's just almost impossible to explain to somebody why adventure mode is interesting on a stream, whereas it's very easy to explain to somebody why fortress mode is very interesting on a stream. I'm very much hoping that the Steam version and accessibility reworks changes some of the things about adventure mode that make it obtuse and complex and hard for people to wrap their brains around, so that I can stream it and get an interesting, entertaining stream out of it. But the main reason you don't see me streaming too much of it is because it's a very difficult game to communicate why it's interesting. It's like fortress mode, you get a square area where you can build, and you build a fortress in the world, right? Adventure mode, you get one character, and you can just freely roam around your generated world in a massive open, interconnected open world. You can literally walk all the way across your map. Or just start building a fortress in the middle of the map somewhere with one dude. And then you can, like, claim that fortress. Like, there's so much stuff you can do. But it's got enough that's clunky about it that it's difficult. But yeah, please don't put words in my mouth. Because I will immediately, like, just tell you that where you're off. Hope that you're moving that one already. Putting that one. Why did you put it there? You shouldn't be putting it there. They like to put them at the corners, and I don't actually know why. Perhaps I should be making these routes just a single stop. You know what? Let's try that. Let's just try making all of these routes just a single stop. Because they only need to be placed on that specific spot. So let's try that. New route, stop, V. 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 Route, stop. Because they should still stay on the track regardless of whether or not they're on the route. And I just need the goblins to place it. They end when they get tired of being here. Or when we kill enough of them. Those are the two times that the sieges will end. That's a lot of hours, Stone. I've received about 40 emails in the last 2 hours about Steam sales. So, just saying. About 40 emails. Also, Jupiter Hell is on sale, which is a game you should go buy. Also, Warsim is currently $6, which we're going to be swapping to pretty soon. No, I don't get that many emails about Raid Shadow Legends. I do get some, but like, they've offered me about 4 to maybe 5 sponsorships now over the past few years. Have I seen and or played Timberborn? I have. I found it very restrictive. I'm so used to city builders where you can just kind of build and suffer in your own mistakes. And that game wants you to build at a very specific scale and limits the area that you can build into a very small area so that your guys can always reach. And I don't like that. I do not like that. I do not like it when a game wants me to stay inside of its predetermined box. So, as much as like Timberborn looks like a brilliantly good game, it makes me really annoyed the second I start playing it. I got so annoyed when I realized like, oh, I can only build so big. Well, that's why am I even here? Maybe it's the wrong way to feel about it and the wrong way to go about it, but it's how I felt about Timberborn very shortly after I started playing it. So yeah, I lasted about 5 hours on Timberborn. About that. I'd much rather, like, if I'm going to play a city builder, I'd much rather play, well, I'd rather play Dwarf Fortress. But outside of, like, the easy cop-out of I'd rather play Dwarf Fortress, I'd rather play Songs of Six. I'd rather play Odd Realm. I'd rather play... heck, I'd rather play No Moria. If it's like, if I'm going to play, like, the only thing that Timberborn does that's cool is it's got Z levels. And if I want to play a game with Z levels, I already have a lot of options. And it just kind of sucks that those options are obtuse enough to the wider audience that those options don't do super well. And also, I realize that Songs of Six doesn't have Z levels. I realize that. But also, Songs of Six is such an open game. And I like open games. Have I ever played Empire Earth? Not in like a couple decades. Why? I'm kind of mad. When I first moved into this apartment, so probably either 2014 or 2015, I saw a big box copy of Empire Earth in pretty good condition for $5 with the manual and everything in the thrift store, as well as a copy of Thief, Thief 2, the big triangular boxes, and what was the other one? I can't remember. There was another game that I want to say Deus Ex, but I might be wrong there. Anyway, I wanted to buy them, but I didn't have the shelf space at the time because my ex's collections were too all-encompassing, unfortunately. So I ended up not buying them, and I kind of wish I did. It's not Empire Earth, but I'm loosely planning to do a playthrough of Homeworld. Maybe all 3 of them. Well, Homeworld 1, Homeworld 2, and Deserts of Karak on stream. If, like, I'll try Homeworld 1, and I think we'll do Homeworld 1. And if you guys are interested, then we'll do 2, and then maybe Deserts of Karak if you guys are interested in watching more. I don't know how I know that if I say this, you guys will be like, I'll watch, but I don't trust you until I've actually done it. I know that you guys always say that you'll watch things, but Not necessarily. I wouldn't play Homeworld Cataclysm because I don't have access to a copy of it. I don't know, and I don't feel like buying games I don't already own. I own enough games already, and Cataclysm is not one of the ones that I own. Also, Cataclysm isn't canon, as far as I know. But I've only ever actually played Homeworld 2, so. And I played Homeworld 2 at a friend's house a long time ago. And I've played like the first 3 hours of Homeworld 1 when the remastered version came out. And then I stopped because it was buggy at the time and I was waiting for patches, and then I never got back to it. It's better received than Homeworld 2. I don't care. I like the gameplay of Homeworld 2 more from what I remember than the gameplay of Homeworld 1. So, but I also like simplified RTSs. I don't like... Homeworld 1, you build individual units and you control individual units. Homeworld 2, you build squads of units and you use squads of units. I prefer the squads because I am an idiot. So... Yeah, see, I admittedly, like, Homeworld 1, to my knowledge, had refueling, individual units, and less unit variety. I like that system less. So, but also, I'm not an RTS person. And besides, I'm not going to promise I'm going to play the whole franchise until I've tried streaming the first one. I might stream the first one. Nobody wants to watch. Chat is dead. Hard as hell for me to stream. And it's an unpleasant experience for everybody. And I never stream it again. So I'm not going to promise anything. I'm just saying I'm going to try streaming them tentatively in the new year. Because I would like to play Homeworld. And if you guys don't like watching it, then I will just play it on my time on my days off. Fuck you guys. That's also always an option. Should probably. Why are you not letting me move down a Z level? Also, I don't feel like going through compatibility bullshit to make Cataclysm work. There's also that, because that game hasn't been ported anywhere because the source code's missing. So maybe if it got remastered, consider it, but I doubt that'll ever happen because they lost the source code and they haven't found it yet, so don't really expect that to happen anytime soon. Unless they decide to remake the whole game from the ground up. And, you know, maybe they will. Blackbird Interactive is nuts like that, but works out of the box from GOG. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I want to play the remastered versions. Sorry, but, like, I have a computer with a graphics card. I'd like to play a game that came out in the last 10 years. Anyway, no, I'm not going to play Cataclysm. To answer that question. Not in the plans. Mainly because it's not canon. If it was canon, I'd kind of feel okay about it, and I'd go get whatever version to play it, but because it's not canon, I just kind of don't care. We have another ghost that is haunting us right here. Solon. Ghostly wrestler, but hopefully they will quickly construct it and get him memorialized, then he'll be happy again. There you go. The ghostly fish cleaner has been put to rest. That's one. Uh-oh. I actually have an oblivious to reality depressed goblin. That's impressive. How the fuck did that happen? So why are you curious about Empire Earth, Joe? Empire Earth, you know, when it comes to like silly, poorly made RTS games from that era, the one that I really liked was Rise of Nations. Plenty of people played Empire Earth. I think that people went like one of three ways when it comes to RTSs from that era. They either played Empire Earth, Age of Empires, well, 4 ways, or Rise of Nations, or they played all 3. I kind of played all three, and I liked Age of Empires and Rise of Nations. I don't remember liking Empire Earth. Not everybody. Magic Balloon. Also, I didn't play any of these games in the 90s. I played all of these games in the early 2000s because I was 6 in the 90s. I was born in 94, so I... Even your cousin who hates them now? I love them still. I mean, I still play RTS games most Mondays on Evil Trick's stream. You know? Like, someone actually popped up on my YouTube channel the other day and was like, oh my god, blind playing Age of Empires? Sign me up. I'm like, well, I kind of do that like almost every week normally. We're going to do that again. I think on the 3rd is when we return. Is that the... Yeah, the 3rd is the next time. We're taking next time off because it's, you know, it's 2 days after Christmas. Everybody's doing holiday shit. I never really got into Command and Conquer. That was the one that like I kind of missed. I played StarCraft. I never played StarCraft 2, but I played StarCraft 1. Played a little bit of Warcraft. Played Age of Empires. I played a little bit of Age of Mythology. I played Age of Empires 1, 2, and 3. I played Rise of Nations. A little bit of Empire Earth. But somehow I just completely missed Command and Conquer. I even played Lego Rock Raiders, the fucking Lego RTS, which 5 people remember. Like, I played all of those games. But I have, like, no actual recollection of playing a Command & Conquer game. I love the music. I know all of the music from Command & Conquer. I want to say, like, I think I might have played Generals once at my friend Clay's house. Probably, but I also feel like I wouldn't like it all that much. Because Command and Conquer, like, the reason I like Age of Empires and the reason I like Rise of Nations is it's almost more about building a base and that sort of stuff. CNC, and like I played like 8-bit armies and some other games that are like very much it's CNC. They're a lot more like StarCraft. I don't like StarCraft. Okay, I played StarCraft. I don't like StarCraft. I don't like the very micro-focused, and like Age of Empires is, but I don't like the very micro-focused RTSs as much. I like RTSs where I can just kind of play it like a sandbox and have fun. If that makes any sense. I like RTSs where I can build up I can kind of tweak the difficulty to my liking, build up a big base that looks cool, build up a big army, and then have a fun siege. That's how I play RTS games. I don't play RTS games even remotely optimally. I don't have the eyesight to do it. I don't have the hand-eye coordination to do it. I don't have any of that. I like playing them kind of the way I play Dwarf Fortress, where like I just hang around for a while building up a cool base and then doing that. But like Total Annihilation is another one that I have like this vague recollection of playing once, but I don't think I ever actually played it. And my brain might just be making that up. Yeah, which is one of the reasons why, you know, I probably have hundreds of hours in Age of Empires 3. I still have my original disc over in my storage underneath my sofa in my living room. I still have the original disc for Age of Empires 3 that I bought on launch day. And did I like that game? No, but I put lots of time into it. Just like me versus an easy AI just building a big fucking city. Because I liked city builders, and I didn't have any city builders at the time. So I would just build a huge city in Age of Empires. And then eventually invade the enemy and end the game. Be like, oh, I spent 7 hours in that map. You know, like I would play one match of Age of Empires 3, save, and then come back the next day and keep playing. Like, that's how I played those games. And that's kind of still how I play those games to a degree. Yeah, Zope, exactly. We probably would have liked the Nurple maps in Red Alert. Maybe, but like the way I remember, because like the all of like my mental image of the Command and Conquer games is they were very single resource heavy. It's like there's one, maybe two resources, and it was always just like the resources just kind of generate themselves. and then it's all about building units in micro, and I don't like that. That's not the style of RTS that I like. That and like another series that I've never been into, but I'm suddenly curious about the new one, is I think we can probably turn all this on. Another series that stuff set to be dumped up here. Let's just shut off all this. Another series that I probably would get into, but I've never played. Yeah, I don't think I ever played Dune 2. I played Dune 1, which is weird, but I never played Dune 2. Although RTSs of that era, like Dune, all of those RTSs are just clones of each other. Like, they're all the same game, basically, with just, like, different reskins. It's kind of like the way first-person shooters were with Doom. They were all just the same game. Yeah, it was, of course. Magic Balloon. And they basically reskinned their own game. Where was I going with this? Right. Company of Heroes. That third one that's coming out. So, I've never gotten into Company of Heroes. I've played the first one, which I think I got for free at some point, and I played the second one, and I think I also got it for free at some point, or I got it real cheap in a bundle, one of the two. But I've bought both of them, and I own them both on Steam, some way or another, and I didn't like either of them. I tried both of them, and I didn't like either of them. But Company of Heroes 3, which is in development right now, has a Total War style overworld map, which is cool. And also in single player, it has active pause. So you can pause while playing that in single player. You can't in multiplayer, obviously, because in multiplayer, it's still the same game. It's that hyper competitive, hard to get into, daunting nightmare. But for that game in single player, you can pause, which is super cool as far as I'm concerned. No, there isn't. But, like, see, another type of RTS game that I really enjoy is, like, your Total War style. Another game that I put a shit ton of time into when I was younger was Total War, or Rome Total War, and Medieval 2. The first Rome and Medieval 2 were the two that I played the most for Total War. I put a ridiculous amount of hours into those games. And they have those two features. They have pausing. They don't in multiplayer, but you can pause in single player. And you have the overworld map. And I either need a base building style of thing, like heavy focus on base building, or I need an overworld map. If I have one of those two things, I'm happy. And I'm really like, I don't know if I'll stream it, but I'm really curious to see what they do with Company of Heroes 3. Yeah, I think it's the problem with Company of Heroes 1 and 2, and just go watch some competitive Company of Heroes. You'll figure out exactly why you don't like Company of Heroes. If you don't like playing RTSs competitively, watch somebody play who's at a competitive level in Company of Heroes play for like 10 minutes. You'll figure it out real fast. Those games are fucking messes to play casually. Absolute messes. Once this goblin gets through here, we can turn... Well, actually, we can just turn this on right now. Now we get to make sure that this all works. It should. It should! I'm just gonna wait for this blue goblin to get through first. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Run, you little bastard! You're carrying clothing very slowly. Because it's heavy, I guess. Although, actually, I could be ballsy. Nah, I'm not going to be too ballsy. But yeah, I don't know if I would like Nurple maps from that description. I don't know if I would like that. Because what I like about Age of Empires is, like, the limited resources that... Because, like, Age of Empires feels like two games kind of crammed into one. It feels like a light city builder with an RTS on it. That's also an RTS. It's like the city builder RTS. That's good. Not unlike Anno, which is not a good city builder RTS. God, I love the city builder side of Anno, but fucking hell, I hate the. God, if they actually made that side of that game good, Anno would be incredible. But it's not. So. All right, let's see. Did I set this back up correctly? Looks like it. Those two, no. Oh, I see why. It's because we're missing a gear. Well, I can turn this off and turn this on. What do you want? You want buckler? I missed a gear connection. What you do like more? They would generally extend the play session, but even most of your games are 2 to 3 hours as opposed to 20 to 30 minutes for vanilla maps. Yeah, see, like if I'm playing a RTS game by myself, I want to just sit down and fiddle around and almost RP it. I don't want to, like, play an RT. Now. Athros, now. They're running. And it's so satisfying when they all line up correctly. And then they all fuck it up. Let's see if they go return them. Yes, they do. Well, I mean, most things are on sale. It's a Steam sale. I'm also going to gift some people copies of War Sim tonight. I have a few friends that probably wouldn't normally play it, but damn it, guess what? You're getting War Sim for Christmas. Just taking a quick glance at the Steam sale. Age of Empires, on the topic of stuff, is only 10% off. I'm waiting for Age of Empires to be 50% off, and then I'll buy it on Steam instead of just having it on Game Pass. Rogue Empire is currently only $8, which is actually a really good deal. Tangled Deep is $5. I should probably buy that. You know, maybe I'll buy Larn. Steam version of Larn is $1 right now. Maybe my Steam sale purchases will be Tangled Deep and Larn. All right, so things should all be connected. We should be good to go now, so I can turn this one off. I just need to wait for our little gubbin to be past the spot. Pull this lever. And pull this lever. Well, that's convenient. Chups is going to go pull the lever. Get up there, Chups. You poor, poor goblin. I don't know if it's better or worse to have more carts on these, but these are ending up with more carts on them over time, which I think is kind of funny. Where did that one stop? I don't know why that one stopped, but... Well, here come horses. Let's see how good horses are at dodging. So the humans don't have any building destroyers. I don't think. I mean, they got war dogs and horses and then them. Humans are not building destroyers, correct? Which means they shouldn't be able to destroy any of these, which means hopefully they'll just kind of walk in and die. Dominions 5 is also looking nice. Ooh, actually, how cheap is Conquest of Elysium? $25 for Conquest of Elysium? That's a good price. Good price for that game. Damn, recent reviews for Conquest of Elysium are 96% positive. That's actually really good. The initial reviews for that game weren't the best. It got some it was mostly positive for a bit there, but maybe they could get overwhelming. That'd be cool. All right, looks like these 3 horses have just kind of run ahead of the pack. Oh, here come the rest of them. Maybe if the building was made out of cards, they could knock them over? Chat, if you're lurking and not looking directly at the stream, some horses are probably about to explode into a billion pieces. If anybody wants to watch some humans die, I mean, don't take that out of context. Unless you really want to. Because some humans are coming towards my minecarts. Also, I know some people are... So, 2021 Game of the Year. The votes on Steam are Valheim, New World, Cyberpunk, Village, Resident Evil, and Forza Horizon. I guess I'm giving that to Valheim because I know people like that game. VR Game of the Year? I don't know. Pick that one because I know people liked that one. Well, unfortunately, DF, my quest to get DF into the Labor of Love award failed. Well, let's see how this goes. I gave it to Terraria for Labor of Love. But No Man's Sky could also get it. Outstanding visual style, probably Psychonauts. Most innovative gameplay. Chat, if anybody here votes for 12 minutes for most innovative gameplay, please don't vote on anything else. Just never vote again, in fact. All right, well, it looks like that horse is annoyingly good at dodging. Hey, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, look, we got a zombie that we're just, like, pummeling against that wall. It's just, like, I think just hanging out. You're just hanging out, right? Yeah, he's just hanging out. I mean, he's got nothing in life left to lose, so it's not like he cares. Wait, what? Horses can stop minecarts? Okay, that's not even fair. Well, that's not cool. They do weigh a lot? Shush you. All right, well, learning more about minecarts every minute. Let's see how this goes. So, well, that was pretty efficient. All right. Oh, you dodged it. How about this? Splurt. Okay, well, see? Look, it stops them. That's kind of incredible, actually. I guess shotguns are the only way to really effectively use minecarts as a weapon now. Like, there's no way in hell we're going to be able to kill these horses. Because they're just going to stop them all. Like, this is only 3 horses. We've got 1 kill, 2 stopped minecarts. And then that one just stops the last minecart. Like, yeah. Great. That's not good. So to people who are just like, use minecarts, they're an unstoppable force. Not really. Not really. Horses just stop them. These aren't even giant horses. These are just horses. Imagine if they were giant horses. I'm actually just going to go over here and pull this lever. So goblins with trolls that are building destroyers will just destroy the mechanisms. And so I guess at this point, the only forces that they're good against are goblins without trolls, which are kind of rare, and unmounted humans, and elves that don't have mounts. But if they have mounts or trolls, like, minecarts are useless, unless you're using them as shotguns. Well, wish my squads luck. At the very least, it'll be easier to decipher who is who. Now those slow down. And we send my goblins up here. Equals giant skating horses. It seems to be minecart stop and horse just don't care. That's what it seems like. It's such a fun game that you never want to play again. I don't think I would like Dominions. I'm not gonna lie. I really like Conquest of Elysium, but like 3 hours of Conquest of Elysium is like perfect. More than that, gets to be a bit much pretty quick. The horses start running away. First Goblin Lasher, Bitey, who, this is the one that bit a Forgotten Beast to death. It's just like fighting with war dogs now. Other goblins are coming in to help. See, this is much easier to determine who's who, because my G's are fighting against H's, D's, and U's, which is much easier to follow. Did that horse just get into my base? I think it did. These horses are doing a very good job of getting into my base. I don't like it. Also, why is it whenever people type in the word Dominions, I just want to read it as Dominoes? Like, Dominoes is such a fun game that I never want to play again. It's like, huh? Are they leaving already? Well, the horses are running. Alrighty. My militia captain is doing pretty good. Let's station you guys here. Oh! I mean, I too don't want to play dominoes ever again. I like knocking down dominoes. Let's follow Chups for a bit. Where'd you go? Unless you just died. Nope. Pip tablets? Is that what those are called? What? Also, Age of Empires is getting best game I suck at, for sure. Also, chat, I will lose a lot of respect for you if you vote best soundtrack to Guardians of the Galaxy. Because it's literally just an 80s mixtape. All right, well, killing horses. Ugh. Welcome back. Wait, what? To the realms of the chats. Although I think that this fort may be done pretty soon. Not that we're going to lose this fight necessarily. I don't think we're going to lose this fight. We might. That's the definition of Pip. The more you know, I guess. That or these humans will eventually overwhelm my goblin force and we will die. Because a lot of my goblins are actually like kind of pretty injured. If her spine is bruised, it's hard to walk with a bruised spine. Horses can stop minecarts, or so I learned today. They literally just like stand in front of them and they slam into them and they stop. I'm assuming humans are not so good about that, but most of the horses are dead now. So I think I'm actually going to start... Well, actually, where are these horses? Okay, so it seems like most of the horses ran away. Let's see if I can get my military out of here. Come on, guys, run away. Run away. Run away. And we'll try turning these back on over here on this side. But I don't even know if it'll start all of them up. Neil, thanks for the host. Fun fact, you are the only channel that is hosting me right now. Let's remove this and this. And on zone 2 and see if we can maybe quickly replace those minecarts, reset them. If they're too effective, it's not fun. I don't know if I agree with that. Some of the most fun I've ever had in Dwarf Fortress was the last volcano fort I did, where I had a giant, people were referring to it as the lava toilet, that giant like thing that would flush water down it. That thing was super fun to play with. But I agree. I mean, someone on Reddit made a thread, which was, what are some tips you have to enjoy the game? And my tip that I put in there was intentionally leave holes in your fort so that baddies can get in and fun can happen. And I stand by that. Let's just kill that war dog. Let's get them back inside. And pull this lever. Let's see if humans are worse at dodging. Than horses. Because no humans have actually hit it yet. But I'm okay with letting the humans stop them. The words pip, really? Huh. Let's see how this goes. Got some ricocheting back and forth, some pushing multiple minecarts, some just bouncing. All right, that seems pretty efficient. So, so far, so good. That's 2 for 2. How about you? Bonk. Ooh. Ooh. Ow. That looked painful. Splat. Okay. Horse in the middle. Okay, horse got hit. That's good. But the horse stopped the minecart. Bonk. Okay, so that was pretty good. This horse stopped the minecart, but the minecart managed to get to another motor and got pushed again and slammed into him. Although I think it stopped the second time. So he got launched the second time. I don't see a minecart there, though. Oh, maybe it'll make it around. Yeah, it did. All right, let's follow this first minecart. So it slows down dramatically when it hits the horse, but it keeps enough speed going so that it can go again. Once the horse is dead, it should just kill the horse. Come on. Once the horse is dead, it should just go past the horse, rather. That's the word I was looking for. No! There you go. Come on, minecart. There you go. That horse is dead. Excellent. Now it's reaccelerating. And then this horse tries and stops it. Ooh, no. 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 Come on. Make it around. There you go. Okay. We have to kill the horsey. Also, the siege is over, so there's that too. It's not doing a very good job of killing this horse.
This is madness. Madness.
I'm watching a minecart repeatedly slam into a horse, though, and it's not killing it. How are you? Like, that's what we're watching right now. You can. Wait, what? You can vote for nominees. I posted a thread that got 400 upvotes on the Dwarf Fortress subreddit telling people to vote for Dwarf Fortress, and the vast majority of the responses were, no, it's not out yet. So, even though games that aren't yet out yet have won before. Funk. Keep pounding that horse, since Hobo put a loot emote in chat. There you go, it's dead finally. So now it should accelerate. Yeah, see, now it's running the way it should. The fact that horses can stop minecarts is ridiculous. How else am I supposed to have an unstoppable nightmare force of death? If they can just, like, will them to stopping. Did the horse like it? I never asked it, to be honest. I mean, it's dead now, so good luck talking with it. But chat, this fortress is a bit of a mess, as you can see by our front porch. As ineffective as the minecart defense ended up being, all things considered, I mean, it's still beating the dead horse. Also, there's a human in there now, somehow. But why? Are you a bard? Please tell me you're just a bard. Nope, you're a human hammerman. See, like, it's great for killing humans. Just cancel that for a second. Just not so good at killing horses. This one never started here, so he's just hanging here bleeding out. Can I, like, lock more of them in? I can't. I'm going to force them through the fort. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to pull this lever. And I'm going to pull this lever. Which means this gate's going to close, and then their only way out is going to be going all the way up and around. So any of them stuck in here have to then go back all the way over and climb over top of the dead bodies, and then the last few humans that are still stuck in here have to, you know, get tripped up on that. A horse-specific layer? Yeah, I mean, at this point, I guess if you were to use minecarts, I think I'm kind of with chat that the best way to use minecarts now is to just have it on a very long walkway where they can trip. Okay, that's kind of neat. There's also a goblin as part of this faction. I didn't even see that. All right, so now this closes. So now they should turn around. Should. And come back through this again. Which, by the way, this human's still alive, even though her upper arm is mangled beyond recognition. Nope, you're moving. And bonk. Bonk. Got knocked. Ooh, airborne. Some teeth fell out. I think those were teeth. Yes, those were all teeth. Lost a bunch of teeth. Got hit in the face, I guess. And bonk. And bonk. Bonk. Ooh, blood splatter. On the wall now, too. That's quite the carnage. On a walkway, and then enemies either get hit or dodge down into the hole below. Yeah, that I think is the best way to do it, because what are they called? Horses can stop minecarts dead in their tracks, and trolls are very, very good at destroying the mechanisms. Like, they can instantly destroy the mechanisms. Before, they would like stare at a mechanism for a while and like see if they could destroy the mechanism, but now they just like they walk past and the mechanism's gone. So anything that's powering the minecarts immediately gets nullified by the existence of a troll walking past it. Which is not really what you want. And then if they have a good dodge score, they just dodge out of the way of it anyway. So I do think that, like, the best way to use minecarts would maybe be like a really long singleized walkway like this, that then launches the minecarts over a gap, because you can do that. That then goes this way, is powered down here, and then goes back up like this. Because you can do like 2 or even 3, I think, if they're going fast enough, gaps where you could have some gaps that maybe they can't jump it. So if you could like power it down here and have them running along a single walkway with a drop on either side, that would probably be the best way to use minecarts now. Certainly not in this kind of more traditional fashion. And I would expect demons would do the same thing, like just stop them dead in their tracks. You hate to be the cleanup crew. These goblins have cleaned this up several times now. Several times. Maybe more than several even. Will it increase the damage? I don't think it increases the velocity, no. Filling minecarts is only useful if you want to dump the minecarts on something. I'm just curious to see how efficient it is on these last few guys that are left. Poor guinea pigs. So we have this evil goblin spearman right here. We fill it with bombs. Well, there are no explosives in DF, so couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. But, you know, if you fill it with lava or like spiked balls or swords and then roll it down a steep hill and into a wall where it goes smack, that would probably be pretty efficient. But you'd have to like throw them through bars or fortifications, and I don't know. I think at that point, I think I'd rather just do something else. But we'll build a minecart shotgun one of these days. We'll make it work. You know, all things considered, not that effective, but still pretty effective. Like, there's plenty of blood. Like, it's definitely a trap. I think maybe now knowing all of the weaknesses that these have now, I think that they're maybe more fun to use as a defense. Now, that I don't know. That I don't know. Sideways. I have not done the science to know if whether or not horses would act as a track stop. I don't think so. But like if you fill it up with lava, yeah, it's fun to make and also pretty entertaining. Yeah, it's more just entertaining than anything. I'm like imagining other ways that you could like use them in like harmony with other traps, and like they get kind of interesting. But well, yeah, pretty efficient against humans. Like that goblin's already dead, and this human's just like splat. All right, let's see. Will it hit you? Because that one in the middle got stopped by a horse. Okay, no, okay, that's one that made it through. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Rube Goldberg machines are fun. Everybody likes Rube Goldberg death traps. And Dwarf Fortress is pretty good at that. Let's just go pull the lever. This is gonna hurt this guy. You know, shunk. Here, hold on. Let's follow the minecart. Splat. Splat. I don't know if this chat has this fort been entertaining for you guys with all these silly defenses? Okay, where's the last few? You come up here to go pull that lever and slow this down. The rest of them are all back there. So there is one bleeding human there. We're going to send our squads in, and we are going to finish off the last of them. Ah, cool. Militia captain. Where's Bitey? The legendary Bitey. Get going, Bitey. Go do it. Go beat him. Go bite one of them to death. I can't wait until these fun as hell mechanics get prettified so that people who don't like immediately recognize these interesting mechanics will be able to immediately recognize these interesting mechanics. There goes the first human. Split into the second one. And the third one. Come on, boys. Do it. You're excited for when RimWorld people find DF? I just hope they don't bring the bad parts of RimWorld into DF. Hope that they keep it cool, clean. But all of that being said, chat, while these goblins run through and finish up the last of the humans in this hallway, happy holidays. This little fortress of goblins, this mod, this has been fun. Been a nice excursion away from the normal. There's a lot of very thirsty goblins right there, which desperately need drinks. Hopefully we can fix that. Looks like they are watering them now, though, which is what we... It is time to retire this fortress for the time being. Maybe we'll come back because the winter isn't over yet. And this is just kind of a winter/Christmas themed mod, and we didn't get to play those elves. Maybe we'll need to try out those elves at some point. So maybe we'll come back. But that is our little goblin fortress done. Let's let the world reset. Honey Pop is 80% off. Just saying, I already own it. Already own it. Your fortress has settled into the rhythm of day-to-day living beyond your meticulous concern. Gobos did goobers. Goobers did gobos. Round of beers for the gobos. And the holiday fort. I think it's time for me to go get lunch. And then if you guys are interested, I think it's time for us to play some... I think it's time to go play some War Sim, if that works for you guys. We are playing Santa in the Kingdom of the North Pole, and I have some keys to give away, courtesy of one hobo. Because hobo went and bought a bunch of keys to go give away. Currently, the game is on sale on Steam.